I've been riding on the edge, I don't fall. Stream lab, every clip going gold. Mine shot like a blade in the snow. Name ring out, they for that storm mode. Now Mikaze, I move how the wind blow.
Okay. So Frrari did ask, and this is actually to Mr. Sammy. You there, Sammy?
I will respond to Sammy. Yeah, go ahead.
Sammy, get off the pot.
I'm here. Man, all right, man. So Mr. Frrari got a special question for you, Sammy. He said, did Sammy ever release the World Cup recap with Sothralis as a guest?
No, he hasn't. You know what's crazy about that? I think it was when we were doing the episode, about my crash out in Skyliner's Discord, and then Sammy was like, "Man, how much time you need? It's been like 4 weeks," and I was thinking in my head, "Nigga, it's been like 7 months since the World Cup, and you still ain't came out with that video."
Also, according to Frrari, there's rumors that the World Cup interviews from the first World Cup are being released soon. Is that true?
Oh, is that true, Sammy?
Frrari, I just want you to know something, because we had the same conversation a couple months ago, and I told you you're going to come back in here in a couple months and ask that same question. And what has yet to happen? Those interviews being released.
Damn.
Sam, you making Jamaica look bad, man.
I don't know what Sammy got going on. He holding it.
He's too busy playing Arc Raiders and Crimson for no reason. At this point, Sammy, you need to just Dropbox me the files, and then I'm gonna just fucking upload them myself.
I'm gonna make a poll. If y'all really want this, vote in the poll.
We don't need a poll.
We gotta make a poll.
Why do we gotta make a poll for? Yeah, the interviews. They want the interviews, man. Look, Sammy, if you're busy, just Dropbox me the files of all the interviews, and then I'll just do it myself.
I mean, I could drop it, no problem.
We had some crazy dialogue in their interviews, man. Some of it was kind of spicy. So
right, you know what? I'll drop them. I'm just letting you know. Most of them are probably black screens, so don't expect much but audio.
With some editing magic, we could take the audio and then put some.
I mean, I could put something on the screen. I mean, if I got the file of the audio, I can just. I don't know. I could put like a gameplay of something over the screen.
This is crazy.
Yeah, man.
Hey, all I'm telling you is there's 300 million pages. 300 million hours of audio.
Release the Sammy Files. Right. Yo, Sammy ain't trying to leak on Frrari. He's not trying to leak the files, bro.
He's pulling the Trump and Epstein. He said he's trying to hide the files, man.
Nah, man, and it's crazy. You know what's so crazy, Frrari? We actually had some fire dialogue.
All right, Frrari.
Yeah, Frrari said we don't need videos from audio-only interviews. I mean,
We'll do it this weekend.
I mean, if anything, you know what you can edit, to make it fast, Sammy, just put like the Crash Out logo as just like over the audio, and just have the audio playing with the Crash Out logo in the background, and just call it a day. Truthfully, just call it a day.
I'll probably do that. We'll do it on Friday.
Yeah. Disclaimer:
I'll do it.
Everything said in those videos
was from 2 years ago.
3 years ago is nasty work, bro. We about to hear interviews from guys. We about to hear interviews from players that don't even play this game no more.
Hey, you know what's funny? Brother's gonna be in DMs again.
He's gonna be like, about fucking time you release this shit. God damn.
Yo, all right, yo, Frrari, you heard it. He said Friday. All right. So that means if you don't see the video Friday, Frrari, I'll give you permission to come at him on next Wednesday.
It'll be a trickling effect. I'll drop the first one this Friday.
Dang, he said the first one. Oh God.
Yeah, because we did like 3.
Let's see how long the second one takes. So it's like that.
Right now, I'm trying to spread it out like it's a schedule, as if it ain't already 2 years late. He trying to drip feed the interview. What the heck?
Hold on. Yeah, there's 3 in here. I see Europe. I see North America. I see USA.
Yeah, hey, that North American one, that one was spicy, man.
Man,
That one was...
hey, put it back to back like Jordan. Back to back.
The NA one is oh man, that one's legendary.
It was, man. But I mean, everybody is made up now. Everybody on so
Yo, Frrari said one episode per 3 years? Question mark is crazy. Shit, SpeedStorm wouldn't even be a thing if you wait 3 years per episode. The last episode, SpeedStorm would be way out of life.
Well, what released the first? Sammy's interviews or GTA 6? Probably GTA 6.
That's not
That's
good.
crazy.
Sammy. That's not good.
Yo, Sammy, I'm not Sammy. If GTA 6 comes out the interviews, I'm gonna ask questions.
It's gonna
Bro,
release before GTA 6.
There's probably some niggas might be a nigga that waiting for him might die before the interview comes out.
Yo, don't say that. That's crazy.
That's
Die
crazy.
today, man.
All right, so
Not even
Friday,
feel
guys, that's the
happy.
confirmation. Friday for the
Yes.
first episode. Sammy's gonna do it. So
Yeah.
chat, if he doesn't do it, you
No, I'm
know,
doing it.
cuss
Don't
his
worry,
ass
I'm
out on
doing it.
Wednesday.
I'm
Who said
doing
that?
I'm doing it. Which one was the least spiciest? Probably EU because that one was just soft browlers. We'll drop the soft browlers video.
Probably said I could show my grandchildren the interview.
Nano and Angel that hold the interview back. He said, "We'll drop it." No, you need to drop it.
Right, because I promise you I would have been dropped it if I had the files.
Welcome back everyone to the channel. Also welcome if you're new. Today we have another interview for you guys as promised. We have, I guess, the opposition to Team USA because they did meet up again in the final for that rematch. And in place for Team Europe, we have none other than the captain, Sofralis. Sofralis, would you like to give yourself an introduction?
Yes. Hello. Yeah, it's good to be here. I'm honored to being interviewed. I'm trying to give my best. I hope make everyone happy.
Nice, nice.
Okay, first thing, one thing I want to ask is, I didn't really know who you were at first until I raced you, and then I saw the skill. So what we need to know is, what is your racing resume? Give us your racing background. What are some different racing games that you played in your lifetime before Disney SpeedStorm?
That is an interesting question. I'm gonna come on that topic, but I want to give it first shout outs to my team and everyone who supported us, and especially a shout out to the host who made this event even possible. It was big fun. It was a blast. Some ups and downs personally, but it was great. Just wanted to give that shout out to everyone.
Nice, of course, man. That's a great shout out, man. Definitely got to shout out the team, shout out the whole of Team Europe, even though, all we have here is Sothralis, but, you have some great team members, and definitely shout out to the host, man, because like you said, without them, this couldn't have been possible.
So coming to my background, so basically, this game is my first racing game ever. I had, prior to this, no experience.
What?
Wow. That's wild.
That doesn't make sense.
That's crazy.
I mean, if you're counting the playing Mario Kart 64 when I was 7 years old, okay, maybe that.
I mean, that's still experience.
That counts.
Yeah, and some Mario Kart Wii casually, but that's it. Never played any racing games. But my girlfriend, who was also in the team, Erdbeerbina, she played tons of Sonic Racer Transform or whatever that game is. A lot. So she kind of convinced me playing SpeedStorm. She was playing it at first and saying, "Oh, look, this game is so fun." I watched and said, looks interesting." And afterwards, I picked it up and I could not stop playing. Basically.
Okay.
Damn, that's dope.
I wanted to ask you, how like, so when did you like start playing the game?
Well, it must be the start of the free-to-play. What must have been like at the end of September when the free-to-play season started, season 4, I think.
You started playing in the Aladdin season? I thought you like been playing since like early access.
Nope. Unfortunately not, because that would have made so many things more easy. Painting racers, no, I did not. I only started playing season 4.
Wow. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, so Thalis, you catch me by surprise with a lot of these answers. So,
Well, many top
know.
players started in season 4, so I don't think it's that of a big of a surprise. It's not that unusual. That's what I'm trying to say.
Are you saying that all of the top players aren't the OGs?
Oh man.
No, a lot of the new schools are also top players.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I don't know why I had this idea that you were like a player that came before free to play, but
I thought
that's
so
actually
too.
nice to know, man. I'm not gonna lie, so Thrallis, I'm glad you're one of us, man, because all of us in here started in free to play too in the Aladdin season. So.
Oh, really? I thought Nano, you specifically started in early access. I thought about at least. Or did you?
Nah, man. I started in season 4, man. Probably like a week after free to play started.
Oh,
I was 2 weeks
Well,
after
same
free to
boat.
play.
Okay.
Well, since you started in season 4, and this is basically like your first like official racing game, when did you realize you started getting good at this game?
Let me think. It started with these time trials. I remember still the first one I was participating was the Gaston thing. I think it was the Gaston where I first time saw excellent player. Shout out again Chiku, insane player, time trial monster.
Yep.
Yeah, I was starting to watching some of his videos, and I started. Yeah, you know what? I could also try to do the time trials, and the first time trials was pretty decent. I think I got top 30 or something, or 20. I cannot remember exactly, but then it's that point started when I thought, maybe I should try giving more. Maybe.
It looks like them Chiku videos actually paid off or helped. So shout out to Chiku for the video because you turning people into racing monsters. So,
Yeah, man. You're one of the time trial goats, so Thrallis. Much respect. Much respect.
Well, who told that? Who's saying that?
Shit, I'm saying it. Because I always see you at the top of the leaderboard, and anybody that I see at the top of the leaderboard when they actually try, gets a lot of respect from me personally.
So then afterwards, I can't remember. I think the next one was in season 5. It was the Wall-E thing, I think. Then my first breakthrough came when the Hortensia one was, where I actually broke the world record and people started to notice me. That's basically what I'm saying.
Okay. So you are one of the time trial goats. Okay.
I was just mentioning it because that was the time when people actually noticed me and then was like chatting with me, and that was also the first time I met Duff. By the way, huge respect to him.
Nice.
He's the reason I came back to this game.
Yeah, that's he told me that too. Duff. One thing I know is Duff really respected you as a player, and I understand why he reached out to you to come back and play and enter the tournament and stuff like that. So definitely much respect for Duff.
I will come to that point eventually. Then afterwards, I don't know. I was just like playing casually. Not casually, but never thought about entering tournaments at that point yet. And the second time trial was the Olaf thing. Also, I took it, and by that time, people reached out for me asking, "Hey, are you actually interested in driving actual races?" And I said, "Yeah, maybe. Yeah, sounds like a good idea." And then I participated in a few, and I was not actually happy about my performance in these tournaments.
So
I
are
did-
these tournaments? Are these what are these Nalissis tournaments? Or
Yeah,
were
exactly.
they-
The Epic Cups. Exactly.
Okay,
I
okay.
honestly, I only raced one race. Despite being pretty good, I was still not happy, and I was losing my motivation for the game, and I doubted my skills. Yes, believe me or not, I kind of doubted, and then I kind of quit. Said, "Nah, I'm gonna go play just ranked and collect the stuff, and that's it." And then 3 months or 2 months later, I was like always driving time trials, and then Duff one day reached me out and saying, "Yeah, you dude, why not playing? Why you not coming back? You're so good." And I said, "Nah, I didn't want to. I just want to just play the game." And then finally someday he convinced me, saying, "Yeah, you should just return and maybe you should make an impact." And then said, "Yeah, why are you saying it?" So, "Yeah, because there is a World Cup." I said, "What? There's a World Cup for Disney SpeedStorm?" And that caught my interest.
Okay. I guess to talk about your, first your Epic Cup performance. I know it was in Alicia's tournaments. I do wanted to say this because kind of like you, I know kind of the same happened to other people, but in my personal opinion, I don't know if we entered the same tournament. But when it comes to like competitive SpeedStorm, one thing that I've realized is your very first attempt, there's a very steep learning curve because you're not used to, kind of knowing what characters to race and everything on each maps and in a competitive setting. And,
Yep, definitely agree with that.
it definitely, I've heard a lot of stories about people entering one of Alicia's tournaments and not performing well and doubting themselves, and they just give up and stuff, even though they're great players. And I always tell people, if you enter a tournament, there's a learning curve. So if you don't perform well or to what you would like, you got to keep trying because you will learn over time and your results will change with time. So, I thought that was very interesting that you had a similar experience of what I hear from people.
I'm 100% agreeing with this, especially with the racer picks. At that time, I just had no idea who to pick and if it was even impactful, which after this World Cup, I think picking the right racer is like 50% of winning the match.
Oh yeah, that's
Yes,
fact.
Yeah.
100%.
Just to
Even more
piggyback off of that, quick thing, and the USA qualifiers, Nano actually was beating everybody because he was picking the right characters and everybody else wasn't. So yeah, it's a huge part.
Yep.
I imagine.
And that's only because I had, experience from racing in multiple of Nalisi's Epic Cups. So, I kind of give it credit to that. But, is there a, I guess, Sammy, do you have a question you want to ask the fellas?
Yeah. How did your team come about? Like, how did you form together? Was it like Team USA that they had to do tournaments to get their top 8 spots, or did you kind of just group together with like friends and created your team?
Memories. Beautiful memories. No, I mean, it started actually in Buzzy's tournament. Everyone knows that. I'm going to just call it Buzzy's World Cup. So the prior one. Actually, after Duff convinced me to come back, and I thought, yeah, he said the tournament's going to start soon and maybe you should join. I said, okay. I'm only going to play with people I know, actually. And I seen I was joining the Discord and seeing I was put in Team United Nations Europe because in Germany Germany was full at that time, so so pointless trying to join them. And first time I seen I actually asked Nelisi because he was also thinking about joining, and I told him personally, I said, you know what, I'm only gonna play if you're also gonna play, which we accepted, and he joined also, and we landed in Europe. And then we had only one practice or qualification match, which I kind of impressed Roman Ija at that time. He was the captain. And yeah, that's basically how we formed. It was like me, Roman, Marco, Nelisi, and I'm gonna apologize in advance. I cannot remember anymore. 2 or 3 other people. I think at least one was called Serbian Goblin. Shoutouts, by the way, and 2 other people. Actually, 3 other people. So sorry again if I cannot remember exactly the names. And that is the story how our team was formed, at least in Bozzy's tournament.
Nice, nice. What were your initial thoughts of joining the World Cup tournament? What do you think of the tournament, and what did you think of the team aspect?
Well, I thought joining the World Cup was more like a fun thing at first, and I was like more prepared to just be in the background, just play sometimes, and that's it. Um, so with the team aspect, you're talking about the rules or just like having a team, like a 4 versus 4 format.
I'm mainly talking about driving with your team, racing with teams, the 4v4 format, kind of. What were your thoughts on it?
Me personally, I still think it's one of the best ideas ever, in my opinion. It just adds so much dynamic, so much tactical stuff, and there's so many other skill aspects that are being added if you're driving in a team. Like, for example, what is kind of, for example, in ranked team mode is missing. That's an unpopular opinion of me, by the way. I think having friendly fire makes team mode even better. That's at least my opinion. Because if you're
Okay.
added friendly fire, there's another skill aspect that you have to be careful about not hitting your teammates. And
Okay.
that is at
Okay.
least my unpopular opinion. I think it's unpopular, but
Yeah, because for our team at least, we kind of wish there was a team mode so we could avoid friendly fire because that ended up shooting us in the foot. But no, I think I understand that perspective. But yeah,
Yeah.
I guess some people just don't want their teammates hitting them.
I mean, yeah, you need this discipline. It's not easy. Like you have to race against the enemies, and you have to be careful about your team. And if you're like stunning and hitting your teammates, you basically lost the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I actually to kind of piggyback off what you said, so Thrallus. Now me, I'd like to see a team mode actually added, because if that's the case, we could like decide, we could probably have a tournament like that and then decide what people prefer. Um, but I completely understand what you're saying with because when friendly fire is on and you have to actually watch out for your teammates, it means you can't just throw out items willy-nilly and just hit the opponent. Like, you got to be cognizant of your surroundings, your environment, the racers by you. If enemy might be behind you and you have fire, but your teammate might be behind as well. So you got to make that decision of, okay, maybe I should hold on and not like use the item and
Exactly.
stuff. So it adds another layer. So I completely understand, man. I completely understand. Me personally, I'd like to try a tournament with team mode on and see how that is. But I would be lying if I said I didn't like that aspect, because I did think it was pretty good.
I thought it was great myself. As you guys know, this is my first competitive tournament ever for anything. And just having, like what Sofralis said, a higher skill ceiling of knowing, when to activate your abilities or when to activate different items. It took a lot of skill, especially it made your call outs on comms a lot better because you had to know when to tell teammates, okay, I'm gonna activate this or I have this item. Watch out! I don't want to hit anybody. And having friendly fire, it does suck when you get hit with friendly fire, but it also adds, like Nano said, it adds another element to uh, these tournaments because it'll show you which teams are a cut above than the other ones because that's something you have to practice as a team. And obviously, if you don't practice these things, you're not going to fare well against teams that do. So I could definitely get behind doing a tournament with team mode and doing a tournament without, and then go from there.
Okay. Caleb, do you have another question?
I would just add also a good aspect of the format was also where you were kind of forced to play one role. I think that's excellent.
Hold on real quick. I'll call you back, Jimmy.
Oh,
hello?
you said you liked that, Sothralis? That
Yeah,
you had
exactly.
to.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was pretty unique. Having like limited like you're right like you can only pick the same racer 2 times in one whole match and being kind of locked in your class. I mean, if that would have not been there, like of course everyone's gonna play defender. It would have been 4 defenders.
Yeah,
or
that's
tricks.
kind of
Yeah,
boring.
that wouldn't have been fun at all.
There'd be 4 bans instead of 2.
Yeah, but I remember my question. So, Sothralis, you would have the number 1 time on many time trials, and you did very well in tournament matches and stuff. I want to ask, how would you rank you and your team in order from strongest to weakest? What is the depth chart looking like?
Oh, I would rather not answer this question because of obvious reasons. I don't want to upset anyone. That's fine.
Okay, that's fair. What about if you had would you want to do it like a tier list? Like these players are an S tier, these players are an A tier, or would you not want to do that either?
I can only place myself. If that's fine, I'm gonna only place myself.
Well, if you had to place yourself on a tier list, where would you place yourself?
Oh shit! I don't know why I agreed to this. Actually, can I back down?
Shoot, I'll place you, Sothralis. I think you're an S tier racer, and I think you're this game's best talents. In my opinion, you have single-handedly showed me, my team, and the rest of the World Cup, and the viewers and observers that you are SpeedStorm's, one of SpeedStorm's best players. Not only with the time trials, but the way you played Defender was like amazing. And obviously, you could say, the Defender class is the strongest and easiest class. But even out of the other people playing Defenders, I think, there's a handful of people that really like, exceed that class. Like they make that class like super powerful. And I think you're one of those players. Like, and
Jesus,
I think
I'm like a tomato right now.
Nah,
Hold on. Did he go undefeated? Did he go undefeated? Defender versus defender?
Nope. Hoodie was the only one who defeated me.
I think he's on that tier with Crusher, for sure.
You think
Hoodie,
so?
just a shout out to Hoodie. He also taught me so many things by just by watching him. I learned so many things. Just saying. A shout out to you
Dude.
also.
Hey, so Thalas, man, there's nothing. Hey, I'm gonna let you know this. There's nothing wrong with the only person beating you on your class is Hoodie, because in my personal opinion, I think Hoodie is a top 5 player in this game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. 100%. I agree with that.
Who are the other
Mhm.
4?
In my personal opinion, I think Maxi is the best player in SpeedStorm, because I don't know how this dude is like magic. No matter what's going on the track, it feels like he just ends up in the front. No, because and I wish Maxi streamed, because especially with him playing Trickster, that's the role that I was playing. I would like to see, his strategy, how his racing lines are, because he like Maxi's he's really good at always getting the top placement in the races, and I think that's amazing. Like,
Fellow keyboard player like me.
oh, he's a keyboard player.
I'm also a
Sounds
keyboard
like
player.
seems like the keyboard got an advantage. It's like you guys have more
Yeah.
precise inputs or something. Because
Yeah,
TQ
I
was on
wanna-
keyboard.
Yeah.
I want to like talk about that topic. This is one of the topics I want to like try to address
Go ahead, man.
the trickster thing. So in my opinion, I think defender is not the strongest class. I think trickster is the by far.
I
strongest
agree.
class in the game.
Yes,
I agree
someone
with you,
agrees with
because
me.
One reason I will say that is because, one, if you're a defender and you're in first, you're kind of screwed, because now
Yeah,
you're not
exactly.
getting your passive. Whereas the trickster, it doesn't matter if you're in first or third place, you're still
Yeah.
going to have your, drifting abilities and all of that.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
agree, 100%. So as you said before, Kim, like if you're a defender, like I'm driving defender, oh yeah, I'm first place, and then what? I'm losing boost. There's nothing I can do about it. Like, oh, I'm losing boost, then the other defender's coming behind me, getting past me. It's always a switching between first and second place if both defender are like fighting. And that is where the trickster comes into play. If the trickster gets in front, first place, he can just hold it indefinitely because the trickster has infinite boost. And then the defender has the duty to gatekeep. Like that was like pretty off when I played with Maxi. He was in front. And I want to say I never pressed the brake button as often in this tournaments. I pressed the brake button so often because like getting past the first place as a defender is kind of pointless, especially if your team is up front. Why should you just pass them? You just stay behind them, defend the position, eventually letting your teammates in the train. I'm just gonna call it a train when you're letting your teammates come in your formation, and you as a defender go back, and just hold the line. Which we
That's actually some interesting philosophy, because I know on our team, our philosophy was the brawler was the person that was supposed to gatekeep. But that's actually interesting that your team philosophy was the defender gatekeeps. And I think we noticed that a little bit, because it was always you and Maxi would be alone ahead of people, and it almost looked like, oh, they're using Maxi so Sotorella can draft off of him and keep his boost up the whole time.
So
then y'all
there was
kinda-
a trick. I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
So
Here, go ahead.
when I was like in front, I'm talking like we were like driving first and second place, and we were like always kind of hoping that our teammates gonna come to us, and we just let them in the train, which actually happened in the US match, in the factory match, for example, which exactly happened. Like they went into the train and we just hold it, and that was like our whole objective the whole time, creating that train, gatekeep, holding the line, and trying to win. And the defender, in my opinion, is the best role for that.
Okay,
I think you might be right, and I think you guys showed that. So that might be something we have to make an adjustment on in the future.
I would agree.
I might
Yeah,
have
you
had,
guys-
I mean, there were so many situations I could have got first place and get more points, but you know what? Sometimes a great player has to sometimes sacrifice their own ego and just let your teammates win for the team as a whole.
It
I mean,
is.
not like
It is a team
Mhm.
tournament, so you're not wrong about that.
Okay. That's it's actually pretty good information. I do want to say this, 'cause, I know you guys said actually I didn't know Caleb thought that Trickster was the best class. I was under the impression that he thought Defenders were the best class, but um in my personal opinion, I still think Defenders are the best class for multiple reasons. Now, one, I think yes, with Trickster, you could, drift boost 2 times and get your boost. But I still think overall it like pales in comparison when it comes to the amount of boost a defender could get just by being behind somebody. Two, the defenders usually have the best defenses in the game. So they have the easiest time getting and being in the front. Even if somebody passes them, there's no way, there's like almost no way you could get rid of a defender. But but I think it's easier to get rid of tricksters that are behind you. They usually have some of the best top speed in the game, and not only that, even if you guys notice, in every tournament that has been recorded, even back to Ulysses tournaments, the qualifiers and everything, and the World Cup, the defenders always have the most points, and I don't think that's a mistake. Now, I do think, let's say if a player like Maxi takes full advantage of a trickster, then they could look amazing. But you just said it yourself, so Thrallis, you being on defender, you sacrificed a lot of the first place spots to let Maxi, get ahead, and you just draft off him, which is, I think, smart. But I still think there's too much stats and numbers that shows me defenders just overall the best class, and it's not even close. But that's just my opinion.
I want to add to that something. I would agree. Like the skill requirement for a defender, like you can be kind of mediocre. I say you can still get great results as a defender. While as a trickster, you need to be on point. But the potential playing a trickster is far higher than as a defender. I experienced it myself when I drove that match versus NA. It was like the first match I played as a trickster because that's actually my primary class. I want to cut one topic back. No. Let's say on topic first.
Okay.
But I agree. I think what it is defender might be the strongest class for people who don't have the most skill, but trickster, like you said, the rewards you get are way higher for a skilled racer because I don't know if people know this, and I think I learned this from maybe Chiku's video, or somebody told me they learned it from Chiku's video. But every single class, you have to drift 3 times or 3 drift boosts in order to fill up your boost bar. But for tricksters, you only have to drift 2 times to fill up your boost bar. So a high skilled player that knows how to drift is definitely going to benefit more on the trickster than any other class. And I'm talking about front running because, yeah.
And I want to add, most people also don't know how to fight defender, in my opinion, which was pretty good shown by, at least I was playing defender, Maxi was playing trickster. I seen his tactics, how he kind of tailgated away from other defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Also know how to play against them.
Shit, you want to let us know on the information, man, on the inside scoop?
Sure. I was like, before that, I was trying to like elaborate more, even on some tactics we had. Like, there's so many aspects that people don't realize, which synergizes the defender trickster role. Like, my secondary role as a defender, also, I know it sounds weird, I was also feeding him nitro. How? If you, for example, had a mine or fire, when I had a shield or something, I call it out, Maxi, I have shield. You can throw it back. So he throws it back. I get hit. He got nitro. And if you're using that tactic, it's like having like a Baloo pumpkin, like his old from Baloo. It's basically like the same thing. You just have infinite boost slipstream, and then sometimes if the other defender was behind us, we call out that we're starting to jump to lose slipstream, and there's just so many other aspects that people just don't realize that there's so much synergy and team play you can actually do. I'm only talking about the, as I said, defender trickster role, but that's also like a secondary duty for a defender, feeding the front runner boost.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Nano, we did have this conversation early when the tournament was starting. I did tell you Trickster was low-key the best class.
I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that.
Well,
I still think defenders outclass everybody because
But-
the stats don't lie. But I do understand that Trickster has amazing and great potential.
It's kind of funny that you mentioned that because I'll make just an example why like Trickster can outplay defenders so easily. Before that tournament, I thought Jack Sparrow was pretty mediocre, but when I seen Maxi play Jack Sparrow, I think he's a top tier racer, especially in Regulate. I think Jack Sparrow is one of the best Trickster in the game. Just for
I
the
agree.
fact that
Hey, I agree too.
I
Like-
agree as well.
he counters defenders so easy. You just get the ult, and every time you just drift and then jump boost. Every time. There's nothing a defender can do against that. He will always lose slipstream, and Jack Sparrow is away. There's nothing you can do about it. With a lot of Trickster, you can do that trick.
I'm gonna have to implement that, man.
Yeah.
I before this World Cup, I actually didn't know what my favorite class was, but funnily enough, me being on a Trickster role, I actually figured out that it's Tricksters. Like I like being able to get my boost by just drifting 2 times, and
Same.
sometimes using my abilities to help keep my boost up. And I mean, you probably noticed already, Subthralis, but another reason why I think Jack Sparrow is actually a top tier racer, maybe he doesn't have to be like S tier, but I think he is a lot better than people give him credit, is if somebody is in front of you and you have Jack's unique, a lot of times once you have your unique, you could just drive straight behind somebody like you're a defender, and you'll keep your boost up. It's actually pretty crazy once you think about it. So, it kind of pains me when I hear people talk down on Jack Sparrow and say he's not all that and stuff like that, but they just don't know, man. They don't know the power of Jack Sparrow.
Hey, I've seen it firsthand with Reach on my team because she used Jack a lot, and every time she did, I'd question it, but then she'd always end up in the top 2. And I was like, is Jack really that strong? This is coming from a Trickster main who prides in not using Jack, because every time I see Jack or Figment, I'm just like, I think they need more. And then Reach was proving me wrong every time.
Man, and I've been trying to put you on Jack Sparrow. A lot of times we would have our little scrimmages and stuff.
I liked Jack Sparrow before the World Cup. I have Jack Sparrow at level 50. I love using Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. Just sometimes I'll be like, yo, Jack Sparrow go crazy on this map. You're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. And then he goes crazy.
Yeah, but that was just I think that when we were talking about specific maps and stuff, I was trying to take into consideration different factors and stuff like that. It was not just about a matter of if Jack Sparrow did good on this map. But was,
Soft
I
Rally.
have an explanation for why he's so good, or tricks in general. So we are kind of all spoiled playing ranked. And we all know if we all having crews and that all the stuff, you basically have infinite boost with basically every race.
Every class, yeah.
Mhm.
So the big thing in regulated boost is so much harder to maintain. And while Trickster, in my opinion, is the weakest class in ranked, is the strongest in regulate because they bypass that weakness of having a hard time to gain boost. So every character that has a ult or ability to gain boost is automatically good. Like in ranked, it's more important having defense, while in regulate, it's more important having some abilities to gain boost. And that's why Jack is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I could agree with that because I can't tell you how many times in Team USA we were practicing, and the reason we would pick a character over another character is simply because they can maintain boost far longer than the others.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a front running mentality where it's like, okay, can this player front run? If they're in first, can they pull away? If they can, then they're good. If they can't, then maybe we need to reconsider.
Yep.
So,
So you're
Morales,
spot on, Mr. Sothralis.
I wanted to kind of touch back on one of the points you made earlier about playing on keyboard. Do you think there's really an advantage playing on keyboard than controller?
100%.
Why?
Because I was a controller player before that.
Okay.
Oh,
Just-
okay. Can you explain why and the difference?
So the difference, first of all, like having inputs, like if you're like in a race, and even if your inputs are like a few frames quicker than before, like 1 frame, it adds up over the course of the race. It might not sound like much for one drifting, but if you're like drifting, like I don't know how much you drift in one match, those 2-3 frames add up, and that could be 2-3 seconds even.
Mm-hmm. That definitely with the amount of times we're drifting, man, like we were supposed to be, that
Yeah.
I could definitely see the frames over time adding up.
And
Yeah.
and don't forget that like if you're like hitting with the stick to the left and to the right, it takes some time.
Yeah, it
and
does.
Sometimes that's not precise, but a keyboard is 100% precise.
I think that's
Mhm.
why
Yeah,
we
'cause
get
on
the
co-
input error on the controller. That sometimes you'll be drifting one direction, but it inputs as the opposite.
Oh yeah.
and you crash into a wall on
Yeah.
accident. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the worst. It's like getting the rug pulled out from right under you.
And I had that happen so many times during the World Cup. I thought it was the controller.
No, it's the game. I confirm. Me and my girlfriend, we call it in German links rechts problem. It means left right problem.
Okay. Well,
And then you have to deal with stick drift and whatnot.
Yep.
that
So-
too. That too.
But I have to be fair on keyboard. Like it's if you're playing a lightweight, it's not that noticeable. Then they're almost even in inputs, control and keyboard. It only benefit, like in my opinion, it benefits most for middleweight and heavyweight races.
Mm.
Lightweight, because they don't lose that much boost if you're misinputting your input. That's why it's not that bad.
Okay. So, Mr. Sothralis, on to the. At least my question now is gonna start going into the World Cup. What did you think about the groups in terms of what you, or I would say, what did you think of the competition of the whole World Cup? Like when you first seen the players, and then what did you think about Group A and Group B?
You mean death group versus not death group?
Hey, Death Group versus the X Factor group. Group B was the group of mysterious things because a lot of racers in Group B, from my knowledge, it was their first time racing in a tournament, or the first time you see them in a tournament, I should say as well.
I mean, you could say the same for Group A because there's a lot of Group A people who didn't race in any tournaments before either.
I'm
Like a
basing
lot of
this
Team
off
USA.
the knowledge of
That's true.
from what
But
Nano told me.
There's more people in Group A that has tons of experience versus Group B, where I think only Crusher had tons of experience, and then everybody else in Group B,
I mean, we
This
can all
was
agree
probably their
that
first
Group
time.
A was definitely the one with the
Yes.
more with the top players. It looked pretty crazy when I seen it in like live on stream.
Yeah, man. Group A was crazy, man. Group A was crazy. What did you think? What did you think of? So, did you think? What was your team's like game plan in terms of, you know, Group A and trying to make it to the knockout round?
Well, actually, initially we thought about trying to win the first 3 races so we can relax afterwards, which did not happen. As we know, but that was our initial plan, making put the pressure on early so we can relax and then just relax. But other than
Okay.
that, there was no plan actually.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, the first team that you guys went against was UK, right?
Yeah, we thought it, or they were just kind of one of the strongest teams in this tournament. They still were, but I don't know. That match, I don't know what happened, but I think we played better at that day. I don't think
Who did you-
they were so much weaker, but we just played better.
No,
When you saw
I think everybody. My bad, Caleb. I think everybody agrees that the players on UK are incredible players.
Definitely.
I guess, maybe they're in Group A, so obviously it's difficult. I think maybe it took them a while to kind of get the team synergy on point. So, and it could be a couple other internal factors as well, but UK UK is still a strong team, man. They're still a strong team.
The only thing I can add, we were just surprised. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
We expected a pretty tough fight, actually.
Just some info on that. I think their first match, I don't even think they were communicating. So,
yeah,
on the mic. So that might have been
I
part of the
remember
reason.
that. I remember
yeah,
that.
that's true.
Oh, but I want to ask, when you started you in Group A, who did you think were your biggest threats?
Honestly, USA definitely. I thought also I knew also a lot of people from Benelux, so but that's kind of like a bias from my side. But other than yeah, because especially when Benelux recruited Hoodie and Nelisi, just shout outs, one of the best brawlers ever, by the way. Excellent player, also top 5 player in my opinion. And yeah, as I said, USA before, because like USA, your team was also kind of already pretty stacked in Bozzy's tournament, and it was basically the same team in the new World Cup. But
yeah, man, we one of the OG teams. We stayed the same.
How did you I know we jumping into the future a little bit. You did very well on Defender. Do you feel like you got snubbed on the Best Defender award? You feel like you should have won?
No, actually, no, because for the fact that I got an honorable mention in the best players overall, which I think is a higher honor in my opinion.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That is how I see it. So no, I don't. I rather take the honorable mention, the best player overall. I'm happy.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna go through the races now, but I'm not gonna lie, so Dallas, you played amazing in the World Cup, man. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Trying to be humble. I think there's a lot of things I could have improved, especially I kind of, in my opinion, slacked the first 3 matches. In my opinion,
You think so?
yes, because after the fourth match, we're gonna come to that point. Yeah,
Yeah, we will.
basically,
We will.
I'm thinking I could play better in the first 3 ones.
Okay, okay. Well, the second race, you guys, who did you guys play? Was it
Peru. I actually also
Peru?
played Speedster in that game.
Oh, okay, okay. Talk about that.
It was. I mean, we knew already that they were kind of outmatched. So I don't want to sound kind of rude or something, but we didn't pay that much attention.
Okay, okay. Hey, listen, man, you ain't sounding rude, man. You know this. We felt the way about some of the teams that some of the teams in the tournament as well, man. So it's completely understandable. You know, you're probably focused on, you know, certain teams
I
that
mean,
feel like they're more of a threat.
no, I
So
mean, to
it's
be honest, like, I don't know if they had a chance. Actually, I mean, we had just better players overall. I mean, it's just I don't. As I said, I just don't want to sound rude. It's just like the way it is.
I
yeah,
wouldn't say it's
it
rude.
is.
I mean, it was well documented in the recaps that we did that certain teams either just looked like they had no business racing against other teams because they would either one not show up to the actual race, which you're automatically gonna get a 0 for that one person that doesn't show up, or two,
I'm pretty
look like
thankful.
they
So
don't practice.
I'm so thankful that they race against us and participate in the tournament, which
Yes.
is also like
Of course.
already kind of a win in my book.
Most definitely. To that point, so Threllis, I believe that every team that entered the World Cup is great in their own way because it takes a lot of courage to do something like this and to put yourself in the forefront with all the eyes that were watching. And with it being a lot of people's first competitive experience, that's not easy. A lot of people are learning on the fly. It's a team base, so that's also another layer that people have to learn. Um, People are learning how they have to practice if they're practicing at all. It's not easy. So I
I
definitely
know.
commend
Agree.
like all the teams, regardless of who people felt were better teams and not better teams and stuff like that.
In my opinion, it was just an unfair match. That's what the words I was trying.
Yeah, I mean,
to
Okay.
to be
unfair.
Okay.
non-politically correct, they lost by like 100 points. I think in their first match. So it's like I don't think any team is, being disrespectful when they feel like, okay, this is going to be easy week against Peru, and yeah,
Mhm.
Peru, y'all were kind of slacking.
But that's why I also said Nano earlier in the recaps is like we had two teams, notably in either Group A or B, who performed really poorly, and I believed if they had the chance to race against each other a couple of times, that their skill would be more comparable, which was Spain and Peru.
Yeah, that would definitely be an interesting match to watch. But we'll see, man. We'll see. You never know what will happen in the future. I guess so for the third week, you guys went against, was it Benelux?
Yes, arguably my worst performance, in my opinion. The worst.
Okay, okay. So talk about the preparation for that match because like you said, Benelux is a extremely strong team and a team that could really win the World Cup with the talent that they have. So, what was you and your teams like? Kind of, did you guys plan for that match or practice especially for that match or anything?
We had one session and it went like 1.5 hours. That's it.
Okay,
Not joking.
okay, okay. So, how did you guys feel going into the match?
We were kind of relaxed. We thought, yeah, Benelux gonna be a good fight, but we didn't expect we gonna struggle that much.
Okay, okay. So, do you remember any things that kind of made it tough to go against Benelux during the match?
Oh yeah, definitely. There are some things, at least personally, from my own performance. Yeah, there were some things I personally could have prepared more or done differently because, like, I didn't also practice any of the tracks beforehand, and it's seen in the score. I was playing not that good because I didn't practice. You can see that doing some practice runs on tracks before, it's huge. I think you have to do that, and if you don't do that, you're gonna lose.
Yes, practice is very
It's
important.
it's
It is.
interesting that you say that because
Yeah, I
let's
got my ass kicked personally, so that was like, yeah, it was a wake up call. But
And I'm glad I'm
okay,
hearing this from a team that
yeah,
was seen as one of the best in the tournament. So for those watching, very important to practice.
yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
yeah, it's pretty important.
practice is in practice is insanely important. From the words of Mr. Sothralis himself.
Yep, I could agree.
Okay. So, Caleb, do you have any questions you want to ask about the Benelux match?
Go for it.
So did you guys end up losing that race?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we
think from the outside team, I think you guys losing that race made other people underestimate how strong you guys were.
Yeah, I had the same feeling.
And to hear that you guys maybe didn't practice that much or practicing the tracks, I guess that would explain it. And so I think after seeing that, we're like, oh, see, they lost. They had Maxi on the team, South Rallis. Yeah, we're gonna destroy
they beat
them.
us fair and square. I want to add fair and square. There's no denying it.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, man. Even though you guys lost to Benelux, that didn't fool me, man. I still knew you guys were probably one of the best teams in the World Cup because if I recall, Sammy, didn't that match go down to the last game?
I believe so. It was neck and neck for a good while, and then Benelux, I don't know what happened, but like they pulled through. It was I don't know. Maybe I was kind of thinking because from what we've been saying about Maxi the first 2 weeks, it's just like I don't see how any team's gonna beat them if Maxi's front running. And then,
But this is a team tournament.
It is a team tournament, and to
Yeah.
what Soft Rallis said, if they didn't practice and they get this result, I think had they went back or had they had the chance to go back and practice, maybe we'd be seeing a different result in that race.
That's quite possibly a thing that the tides or the tables might have turned. But and that's definitely to give credit to Team Europe because Team Europe is incredibly strong. You guys have extremely high level players on that team, so for you guys to maybe not have been as prepared as you could have been for a match like this, it definitely speaks volumes to you guys, man.
We learned our lessons afterwards, as everyone could see, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys take the L to Benelux, and then after that, you guys have, I think you guys go against us, USA.
It was Team USA.
Yeah, just one point to the Benelux match. Like, I want to just address one stat. Their team was like, I mean, Hoodie, Cedric, and Manhoppe, I think is his name. Yeah, so shout outs. Nelisi was that brawler performance. Woo.
Yeah, Nelisi.
He was cooking that week.
Nelisi is probably one of the best brawlers in the game, man. I mean, not probably. He is, in my opinion, one of the best brawlers in
that
Speed
game.
Storm.
Has proven that brawlers. Oh, sorry.
You said that game proved that Brawler's what?
That Brawler is a pretty good class.
Yeah,
Game proved that.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
I would definitely still think Trickster and Defender are like 1A and 1B.
Of course.
Yeah. I think so too. But
So
you know,
basically, everybody agrees that Speedster's the weakest class.
yeah, but I don't think nobody. I mean, I feel like everybody knew that.
I would
So
call
basically,
it
the hierarchy,
understandable.
you would say Trickster, Defender, Brawler, and then Speedster.
I mean,
if
I
I-
would I think the overall hierarchy, the general consensus hierarchy, would be defenders, tricksters, brawlers, then speedsters.
Yeah, but we asking South Brothers his opinion.
Yeah.
I already
What
gave
do
an
you
answer
think?
to that. Yeah. Basically, I would put Trickster the first, Defender the second. I would give the edge slightly to Brawler and then Speedster. Slightly, only a bit.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are all spoiled by ranked play, and playing Defender and ranked is like the best class. All the shortcomings of not having boost is kind of eliminated in ranked, and that's why so many people are biased, thinking that Defender is the best class. At least that's my opinion.
Understandable.
It's okay, 3 against 1. We'll take it.
Hey man, I like the debate. I was trying to go based off numbers, but I completely understand. You guys' philosophy and thinking. That tricksters are over defenders.
So
I mean,
that
tricksters is
infamous
a strong
match
class.
afterwards.
Oh
No,
yeah,
not
okay.
infamous.
Yeah, so this week you got USA versus you
Europe.
guys. So what are you guys' thoughts on going into this match? And I want to preface this so Thralis, we, however you feel, you could say whatever you want, man. It's it's all good, man. So, the floor is yours.
Well, what should I say? We lost the game.
Well, I guess
Well,
oh, go ahead, Caleb.
How about take us through the matches from the beginning towards the end? I know there's some highlights. There are points where you guys were down, points where you were up. Can you expand on that a little bit?
I think the majority of the matches, I think USA was ahead, at least what I can remember.
Yeah, but there was one particular match when the tides changed.
You know what? Ironically, it was the same map as in the finals, the same factory variant. Just saying.
Yeah, that's our kryptonite.
Yeah, for some reason our team just we're not lit on factory.
So I heard afterwards the reason why that train was successful, because I what I recall, I don't know where it was in the recap or something. I think one ring pressed the wrong button when he was playing Baloo, and then it happened.
Is that what happened? Okay, explain factory. So USA was up, and then all of a sudden we had the factory track, and you sweep USA. Like, what was it? What happened in that race that caused you guys to sweep us?
Well, it was pretty good explained in the recap, I think, by Valano and Sammy, or was it in the recap? I think,
Yeah, 'cause
as I said,
he was feeding. I think Nano explained that on Baloo, it wasn't an accident. He was intentionally using the pumpkins, thinking that he was going to help our team. But I guess you guys were eating the pumpkins.
Okay, so let me go over. So basically, I watched the recap, and what happened was Angel was in first place on Baloo, right? Now he thought that one of us were close by him, but it was actually one of Team Europe's players. I don't remember if it was Frrari or whoever was playing. One of you guys were right beside him, and he asked like, "Oh, are one of you guys right beside me?" And I guess before he could get like a confirmation, he used the the fruits, and then we were like, nah, that's not us, that's not us. And I believe he gets stunned or pushed or something, and the rest of you guys end up passing him, and all of the blue fruits, you guys just like ate everything. And then, you know, when Baloo is in fourth place, all he could either do is throw bananas behind or feed you guys more. And then, you on the Jumba, you played like really good. You were throwing your Jumbo bomb back. I'm pretty sure you were communicating with your team. The rest of your team were like throwing stuff back at us, and we were just getting destroyed from there. So
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, you guys obliterated us on that, man.
I think Mako was on the fourth place as Hades, and he activated his
Yes.
ult, which just it's like a gate. You cannot just pass through him. It's not possible.
Hmm. Yeah, man.
So you guys ended up sweeping us, and then you guys are up. What was like kind of the energy in the chat when you got after you guys swept us? Were you like, "Oh, we got this, we won"?
Nope, definitely not. It's only over when it's over. That mindset. We played until we guaranteed having that win. Until that, we're still focused. Not letting our guard down.
What was the mindset going into the last race on Candy Kingdom?
It's kind of funny. I hope you're gonna believe me, but we kind of suspected that something like what happened afterwards happened.
Dang. Is there a reason why you guys like kind of felt that way?
To add, there were, I don't know how to explain it, but there was something that told us that it's gonna be an interesting match. Right, race actually, yeah. But other than that, no, we thought, yeah, we were ahead of points. We just had to like at least getting even and then win the match. But it turned out differently.
So part of that match, you were on Elizabeth Swan, and you were ahead leading the pack, and you were surrounded by Team USA members, and your team was kind of getting gatekeeped on me by Jafar. I think they were trying to pull ahead, and I was stunning them. At that point in the race, what were you guys, saying on the comms or anything?
Well, actually, yeah, I still remember that. I knew I already knew if even if I got first place, it would not matter that much. We would have still lost. So, they already said in the comm, "Hey, sorry, we cannot keep up. There's no chance." And then basically, we accepted it.
Okay. So after that match, is there anything you guys did in preparation for the fifth match versus NA?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, our morale was kind of low, but this particular match kind of even made it worse. And you can actually see it in the lineup when we were racing against NA. And yeah, I thought, me personally as a team captain, this is going to be this match where we have to find a way to boost our morale. It was everything or nothing emotionally for us. And I picked the trickster role. I gave it unfortunately we had a sub someone else who was definitely zero prepared. I want to add zero, even less prepared than I was versus Benlux. And I thought, personally, the match versus NA was my most difficult match I ever had in SpeedStorm.
Wow. Shout out to NA, because people were sleeping on NA. But to hear that's actually interesting.
Sofralis, may I ask the reason why you felt like that? Maybe was it because of how they changed their lineup?
I mean, our lineup, I'm gonna be blunt. It was not the strongest, as you've seen. Yeah, it was not the strongest. It was kind of a far cry from our S team.
Yep.
And being when people are also not prepared and not even practice, and it just it pushes it pushed me down. Actually, it pushed us down because there was no, like, if someone doesn't prepare, and I mean, it just gives the vibes that they just don't care. And then
Yeah.
what should you think about that?
Did
So overall, it was kind of like, you know, you guys play Benelux and you guys lose. You play the United States and you lose, and then you're having, you know, people not
Doubts.
practicing. So in there, yeah,
Doubts,
it's causing doubts.
yeah,
Okay.
I can agree.
So I can, okay, now that sets the environment. I can see why this match against NA was like, I guess, so big and important.
Wait, I wanted to ask you, Sothralis, was there a particular reason why Maxi wasn't in the USA in the NA race? Or was there no reason?
The same reason we both retired now. He was not motivated to play the game. I was not either motivated, but someone has to drive, right? Someone has to do it. And then I could not. Oh, especially at that week, we lost Mako. Just wanted to add. That was like also a big factor why our morale was down. Mako had some real life issues and he had to leave.
Yeah.
And
That's always unfortunate.
so, a fun fact, I want to add important info now, which was pretty unknown. At that time, I was actually thinking of stepping back as a captain. And that's also new info. I'm going to reveal some things that I started to talk with Cedric about me stepping back, but as a compensation to let someone else take my place. And I'm gonna reveal a bit more info about that. So I was actually thinking, like, I'm pretty close with Haz, and I actually asked him if he wanted to replace my space for Europe because they already were eliminated. So I thought if someone deserves a second chance, it would have been Haz. And I asked him, "Hey, are you actually interested in wanting to race in Europe in my place?" And then afterwards, Mako retired, and then afterwards, I said, "No, I cannot leave my team behind now. I just can't." And then basically, I prepared for an A match, and I thought, okay, I cannot just leave my team behind. I have to make an impact.
Okay. So I guess before the whole this being week 5, I'm guessing the whole thing before all of that stuff, I know this is gonna be pretty sensitive topic, but you know, obviously with the passing of Duff and him being like a part of you guys' team, I know that definitely affected you guys too.
Yep, it did.
Yeah. So I know you guys were kind of like a rough patch around that time. Go ahead, Caleb.
What was the plan for you guys for Duff on the team? Were you guys planning on having him on a certain role?
Yes, he was actually planning to play against USA as a defender, but never happened. He should have just take my main role is not a defender, and I would have wished that he would have played defender instead of me. And yeah, unfortunately, it never happened. His biggest wish was playing against USA, and yeah, just so unfortunate.
Yeah, it is because you know a lot of people on USA, you know, were like homies at Duff, so you know we were actually excited. But it's funny you say that because before the World Cup, Duff actually expressed a lot of, you know, like anticipation going against Team USA. So it actually lines up with what you were saying.
He was pretty nervous about that also. Fun fact.
Okay. I mean, hey, I guess it's in a match like that, it's a lot of great people on both teams, and anticipations are high, and so it's completely understandable. I mean, we recognize Duff as one of SpeedStorm's best and strongest players too. So, you know, I think Duff being in a match definitely would have added a lot of pressure to our team because, we respect Duff and understand how, tough of a player and strong of a player he is, especially with the amount of competitive experience he's had. So, you know,
Yep.
man,
I miss him.
of course, man. We all do, man. That was the homie, man. A lot of us were really close to Duff, so it was definitely a sad period in the World Cup. But I think in I guess in like the positive note, Duff would have wanted the World Cup to keep going, and I think for Duff and I think this speaks a lot to your character. So throughout this, when you decide to stay for your team, I think that speaks volumes because, a lot of people in your situation probably would have stepped down. But, you said, nah, you got to stay and support your team. And I think that was the best decision for your team.
Yeah, it would have been also for Duff. Duff would have not wanted to just leave. I mean, I have some real life issues that some occasionally, but I could just not just go away.
Understandable.
What would you say to someone who's wondering, what happened to Duff? Like, do you know the cause?
If I would know it, I would share it now, but I honestly don't know what happened. I'm gonna assume things, but I don't know if it's appropriate to mention it in this interview right now.
Okay, right.
We don't have to.
We can also talk that in private.
Yeah, but so I guess the NA match. I know you said it was your toughest match. What were you guys actually end up clutching that match out? So what were the feelings after that?
After this match, yeah, our feelings were pretty motivated, refreshed, restored, whatever you want to call it. Our motivation came back.
Yeah.
Our doubts.
Yeah, it was a close one with like 4 points, wasn't it? You guys won by 4 or 8 points. It was a really close nail biter.
Yeah. It was the only match in the whole tournament. I mentioned that once, or someone mentioned that. It was the match where both defender had the lowest points. Just also a fun fact.
Yeah. That's true, man. That's true.
Who was that? Who was that? Staylox versus who was on defender? Was it KH?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was also a match where I played Trickster. The only time where I also played Trickster, which that was the match I actually seen how powerful a Trickster can be. And I didn't have the luxury of having a defender on my side the whole time, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, Alice. You playing the Trickster role there, you actually put in work. You did pretty amazing on your team, so I congratulate. I think so. For me, I feel like it's easy to have people on defenders on teams and the defenders shine because usually they amass the most points of the team, usually, right? I think.
But then again, though, like he said, that was the week where the defenders had the lowest points. I think sometimes we think the defenders are so strong because they're scoring the most points, but maybe that's because the strongest racer is on that class. But when the strongest racer is not on that class, even a defender can't carry some people. Like the
Yeah,
defender spot could not carry stay locks.
No, but you got to understand, like, it's if you have a person that's good on defender, they could definitely. It's a lot, in my opinion. I think it's a lot easier for them to shine if everybody that's playing is around the same skill level. I think when it came to the case of Staylocks and KH on defender, I don't I don't want to sound like
Hey, we can throw Crusher in there too.
I want to sound respectable. Well, no, Crusher doesn't fit what I'm gonna say. I mean this in the most respectable way as possible, but I guess with the type of racers that they were racing against, I don't think the skill matched up. Like the skill gap couldn't make up the skill gap for what the people they were racing against. But that's just my opinion.
I see your point.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Crusher in that category because Crusher is still an amazing player.
Yes, but the whole idea that, if you're a defender, you're automatically going to get first. That wasn't the case because I was watching Canada matches and Crusher was on defender.
No, I know, but I never said that defenders were promised to get first.
But part of to what Caleb is saying, I'll just add, I guess the reason why Crusher kind of fizzled out towards the end of the group stage was because, as a team, lack of practice. As Sofrella said, doesn't matter how great you are as a racer. If you don't practice, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We saw it with Hoodie. Hoodie didn't practice for like a week. He didn't play the game at all, and then he came back versus UK, and UK literally almost beat Benelux.
Was the same situation at like me when versus Benelux?
Yeah. So it's for people out there who thought practice wasn't important or they didn't need to practice that much. You have to practice.
Cough, Paulie. Paulie, you said you didn't need practice, but look at what we're talking about. Hoodie needed practice, Salteralis needed practice, and when they weren't practicing, they lost. So, when you were saying, I don't need practice, like, hey, this is 100% evidence that you did need it. And we all do.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all need
We have
practice,
a term for
man.
that also in the EU team when we practice. At that point, we just called it when I was talking to my team and we had the new match prepared. I said, okay, people, all do the hoodie once, and then we're gonna share racers. Basically, racing every track one or twice, and then pick the best racers, and that was the hoodie for us.
That's funny, man. That's funny. Well, hey, man. Okay, so the team morale is pretty up with the clutch versus NA. So speak about. I believe the first team you guys go against is France.
Yes,
So
this is interesting.
I know with this being a knockout stage, Maxi rejoins the group. So what are you guys thinking? Like, what's like the thought process going into the France match?
I will come to that, but I want to just add one other information, or in my opinion, the topic before about the defender debate.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's also an unpopular opinion. I think if the defender is first place, then there's something wrong with the lineup. That's at least my opinion. I think the defender should never be first place.
What position do you think the defender should be?
Depends if you're successfully able to build up the train, but at least second place or third or fourth. Never lower.
Oh, it's funny you say that because I had the same sentiments, but a co-host here said that shouldn't be the case, so I just let it slide.
I still think
Well, Nano, we lost, so we got to change something. We got to change our philosophy in some type of way. So I'm just taking notes.
I
No,
think
I'm not saying this. I'm not saying it's not a good philosophy, but
Mhm.
you know, I still think that a defender can get first place in your team, do really good.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, our first match against North America, I think it was Angel on Defender and Cosmic was on Trickster, and Cosmic actually was getting first. Now that I think about it, like, wait a minute. Like, it's almost like we had it figured out and then we switched it up.
Did he get more first than Angel?
I'll have to look, but he was ahead. He was ahead a lot of the time. I remember the last race he was on Ursula. I know the Ursulas were taking off. I think when we went against NA, Toxic was on Ursula and he was in first, ahead of everybody. So I think it adds up.
There's one thing why the defender should never be first place, because you don't have slipstream. You're losing boost. But if you're second, your front runner is first place, you have infinite boost, and there's just no reason to pass them. Like as I said before, I never press the brake button as often as in this tournament. Like, if I didn't do that, there were so many times me and Maxi are bumping into each other, and we actually like crashed into a wall because of that. And then since then we said, okay, I'm just staying behind you. I'm just driving. That's it. Yeah.
So can I ask you something? This South Morales, did Maxi share the same sentiment that in this tournament, while you're playing with him, you should gatekeep while he holds the lead?
I think, I mean, we never specifically talked about it, but I think we kind of shared the sentiment because it worked. So there was no complaining from him.
Well, it's a sound strategy.
I think I started to notice.
I think it's a great strategy.
Because I'm not gonna lie to you, early on in the tournament, I was thinking the same thing, but you know, I got outvoted.
Yeah, funny. Yeah, against the popular.
Oh, your team didn't like that idea?
Nope. We briefly discussed this during the recaps.
As I said, the defenders also feed the others in front. If they have a mine or they have a fire, you have a shield just driving in. As I said, that's the secondary role as a defender and gatekeeping, because they're the best defender, right? They're like a wall.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
But we can come back to the EU versus France topic if there's nothing more to add. But I just wanted to point it out. If the defender's first place, I think there's something wrong.
Hey, well, we definitely have to, heed your words, because
you guys were the victors.
Yeah, you guys ended up winning with the strategy. So, everything you say is important, and you guys have a well-sound strategy, and you backed it up. So, definitely taking notes.
Well, I want to ask.
Oh, go ahead.
What were your thoughts going into this match against France? Because I know coming towards the end of group play, you were kind of looking into Group B to see who you're possibly going to face in the first round and the knockout stages. So what were your thoughts of having to possibly play against France the first round?
Initially, we thought it's going to be our hardest match. Also, one of the hardest, because we know a lot of top other EU players, and they were also in the lineup. But unfortunately, at that day, I think 2 of their top players didn't play, and we were pretty disappointed. Our comms the whole time were quiet. The whole time, we were not happy about that.
Really?
Wow.
Okay. We were not happy about it. Our comms were always signed up. Okay, of course we called out, but it was nothing special. We were kind of we felt it was an unearned victory. Say it blunt.
Okay.
Do you wish you guys could get that race back with France?
Actually, yeah. I asked for a rematch for someday, and it's probably gonna happen soon. But not with the whole EU lineup, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you know who were the 2 people that were missing from France?
Remember correctly, I think Kazuki was missing.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Does he-
definitely one
And
of the
he's
stronger
more,
players.
yeah. I knew firsthand.
I'm not so good with the names, but there was also one other. I think it was missing. But
I know they have Gacked. I think they have. They
Kabrut,
don't.
Yak, Kabrut,
Kabrut
Kazuki.
was there.
Yeah,
Kabrut
Kabrut
was
was there.
there.
yeah,
I forgot about the.
could have also been one top player. I cannot remember exactly, but it was not.
But they were
their
missing.
S line. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were missing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Man, so yeah. So that I guess there's probably not too much to talk about with that match. Then.
No.
So the next match to talk about is the Benelux match.
The rematch.
I think one funny fact. I don't know if it was like versus Benelux or versus France, but if you look at the score, I think it was like if you look at the score, I always have 7 points, and Maxi had 8 the whole of the whole match. There's an argument again that the Trixus should be first place and Defender second place.
Hey, it was a strategy that worked for you guys, so I don't think there was a reason for you guys to switch it up if that's what was getting you guys the victories.
Anyway, yeah, against the Benelux rematch. I don't want to disappoint you, but it was basically the same problem. They didn't have their S line up, and
Yeah.
our comms was again pretty silent.
Is that
Yeah.
another match that you would probably want to run again with their S lineup? Same with France?
Sure. Fun fact: we scrimmed with Benelux before, like one time, like 2 matches. We had a scrim again with them as a practice.
Okay.
Oh, so
Was
it's the
this
same
way
thing
back.
like
was this
USA and
before
NA.
the knockout round? Was this before the knockout round, or was this like in the knockout round?
I think it was after the US match. I think I cannot remember exactly when it was. Yeah.
Okay.
But they didn't have their like Nellis was missing.
So did you feel like Nalissi, or okay, so did you feel like because Nalissi wasn't there, like you, even though you guys ended up getting your run back versus Nalissi or versus Benelux,
So I have to give
it
some
didn't
context what
feel
actually happened. Oh, sorry. didn't mean
Okay.
to interrupt. So the match was scheduled for Sunday, but then or Saturday, I cannot remember exactly. And there was like Roman all of a sudden had a emergency issue that he couldn't participate, and uh fortunately they postponed it also, and they agreed, and then we played the match on, I think it was Wednesday, and then we started playing, and then we noticed Nellis was missing. But I was told by Cedric, I cannot confirm it to 100% if I understood it correctly, but Nellis would have not also played on the original scheduled day also. So he would have either been missing because he was not there.
Okay.
It was a big
Yeah.
relief for Roman, by the way. He was so he felt so bad about that, but fortunately,
Oh, okay. So I guess that makes sense. Well, yeah. So it, when Nalissi being not able to be prepared for that match and not coming showing to the match, I think it, it's understandable why you guys felt the way you did, especially with this being the team that beat you guys. I know you guys would have wanted to run back.
we actually
But,
prepared for this match way more than before, and I've learned so many things in the past week. So we're pretty confident we would win this match, but it's still a disappointment he was not there. Not discrediting any other subs that was playing, but we just rather wanted to have everyone's S team when they're racing against us.
completely understandable. I guess Caleb, do you have anything you want to ask about the Benelux match?
Is this in the group stage or at the elimination?
Elimination.
Yeah, you guys were kind of front runner. I guess one thing I want to say is like Nelisi wasn't playing, I believe. One thing we noticed is that whenever a team's top player wasn't there, they lost. When Team USA didn't have Nano, we lost to Benelux. When Benelux didn't have Nelisi, they lost to Europe. Um, when North America, I don't know, they didn't have Falcon against USA. They ended up losing. So, how much do you think one player not being there can impact the results of the
It's
race?
funny that you mentioned that topic. I was like speaking with many people about this topic the recent days about the impact if if there's one good player or two players missing. As it was a team game, I think, in my opinion, it does like 4 good players are gonna beat even teams that have 3 great players and 1 bad player. That's my opinion. So my opinion, the impact of missing 1 great player is underestimated. You actually need 4 strong players in a team. Doesn't matter how good the first or 1 or 2 players are. If the others are not strong enough to compete, you're gonna lose, or it's gonna be just a tough match. It's proven in this tournament pretty often. That's what I want to say.
Okay. I agree with that. I agree with that, man. Mr. Sammy, what about you? Do you have any questions for Mr. Sothralis regarding the Benelux match?
I don't know why I just muted myself. Sorry. I guess the only question that's been on my mind the past, I want to say, week and some days. What was the actual score?
You're asking me that? I mean, we felt pretty terrible. We didn't pay attention to the score.
Okay. Yeah, I was asking you is because nobody knows the score of that match, and it's not recorded.
There's no history of a VOD, nothing. It's like it
Like you
never
got scrubbed
happened.
from the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, Sothralis. When we recap this match, I don't think it's out yet, but
Nope.
when we recap this match, we didn't even know the score, so it was kind of hard to really like.
I know.
I mean, we just know that you guys won convincingly, and
Yeah.
Benelux was missing Alissi. I mean,
It
we
was the
still tried to.
Sothralis Maxi show at that point. Every time I
We
saw a
s-
race, it was you two ahead by like miles.
We still tried to talk about the match, but you know,
There's only so much we could say.
But it was pretty
yeah.
disappointing for that fact that they were not was not the strongest team. That, as I said, we
Yeah.
barely talked in comms, so we're all like the only thing we talked about was the disappointing. Oh, Nelisi isn't there. Nelisi isn't there. That's it.
Yeah.
Roman was
But
feeling so terrible, saying, "Oh, I should have not postponed it because of my thing that happened." But fortunately, it would have not made a difference, as they confirmed it. Nelisi would have not been there anyway. At least I think I have to re-ask that Cedric again just to be sure. But
it's all good. You know, we kind of get the gist of it.
Yeah.
But I guess that's really a testament to Nalissi and how important he was to the team because, you know, we all recognize Nalissi as one of SpeedStorm's best and strongest players, especially on the brawler class. So, you know, I guess
Well, I did say as an interesting fact that any team that was missing a key player did lose their matchup.
Pretty much, man. Stats show it all. I guess if we're gonna move on before we go into the finals match, we wanted to ask you, what were your like thoughts on the whole? Because we think this is a very important topic, for this World Cup and the future of competitive SpeedStorm, and we're gonna ask all the teams this that we interview. How did you feel about the whole NA versus Benelux third place match?
I knew
when
it's
it
gonna
came
come
to
up.
the whole like shortcut stuff.
So my opinion, it should have been better communicated.
Okay.
It was just a miscommunication, misunderstanding, and unfortunately, it led to that incident, which everyone just witnessed.
Okay.
Okay, I got a
So-
question. Oh, go ahead,
Okay.
man. Go
No,
ahead.
you
What you
you
gonna
go.
say?
You go.
Go.
Do you think if someone like Hoodie or KG May take a shortcut, do you think they don't have integrity when they take a Great Wall cut, or do you think that it's nothing wrong with taking a shortcut?
So it
But the issue-
depends. It depends.
Go ahead.
I mean, if we're gonna assume it's allowed or not allowed, I have to ask before that.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, do you think the issue is on the player for taking the shortcut, or on the host for not specifying whether or not shortcuts were allowed?
I think it's more like a hosting of like a rule issue. That's why I said it was poorly communicated. It should have been clear somewhere in the rules. But I mean, it was the first World Cup. These things can happen. But next time, I hope it's somewhere in an info or whatever, in some guide, that it's not allowed. It's more like a rule issue, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Hoodie and KG May, them taking that Great Wall shortcut was fair game because it's a competition at the highest level, so they're going to use anything in their power to win? Do you think that was acceptable?
That's a hard question, actually. When I assume it's allowed, I think it's totally fine. But as I said before, it was not clear enough if it's allowed or not. So I would have accepted it, but it was just so unclear. As I said, if it was allowed.
Let me ask you this then. If the rule stated that it was clear and you knew you were able to do it, would you and Maxi and the rest of the team do it in your match against USA?
Yes.
Thank you. I think that I would have did the same. So yeah, if the rules allowed it, they would have did it. And
Yeah,
if we didn't do it, then that would have been on us for not being ignorant on how to do the shortcuts. So,
Yeah, but the thing is, the rules didn't allow it.
no, the rules never said anything about shortcuts.
Yeah,
in the
that's the
rule
problem.
book, in the document, they didn't address shortcuts, so it would have been allowed.
To Nano's
But
point,
Nalisi said
yeah,
that wasn't.
It doesn't matter what he says.
It's
because
it's
not
verbally
he might
communicated.
say something. He might say something verbally that to one person, but that doesn't mean all the other teams, all of the other players were on the stream hearing what he said. If it's not in the rule book, if it's not in the Discord rules, then it's fair game.
Yeah, well, I have to agree with Caleb. Actually, I have to agree. I'm agreeing with him.
I just believe it was just the rules were just too unclear at that point because some people were in the stream and heard it, and some people clearly weren't. And it wasn't in the rule books, but it was verbally agreed upon that it wasn't supposed to be something that you were able to do. So because of that, it leaves this gray area. And for Nalisi to forget that and then still have that happen in the match, I think that was the main issue, to be honest.
I think it was miscommunication. Like as I said, it was just too gray.
Yeah.
And I count it as miscommunication.
Mm-hmm.
Which
So
we all, I
what-
think,
what-
are agreeing in.
Yeah. What are your opinions on exploit? Because some people feel like, oh, well, that's an exploit because they use a rush to go through the wall and teleport past the finish line. But but then there's exploits like there's the Buzz Rocket where he does a bunch of jumps and underwater that Gameloft had the nerve. There's the Agrabah where you go down that hill, you jump a bunch of times. There's the rail tech where if you jump at the end of the rail, you get extra speed. Like, what exploit do you feel like all exploits are fine because you're just using the mechanics to your ability, or do you think some exploits shouldn't be used?
I have a quick answer to that. Actually, if we're gonna talk about the match versus USA that's coming, you can actually see it on Toontown. I'm using it.
Oh, see, they're using the exploit that we didn't know about, but guess what?
Well, hold on. Okay, so
Slingshotting.
what?
No, slingshot. Just
I
normal.
use that too.
Yeah, just saying. I'm using the slingshot, the sling slip, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking about when you jump on the rail and then jump off of it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, I use that too.
So that's my answer to that. Yeah, I'm using it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for me, my opinion is all of these things are not weighted equally.
Mm.
I think all of them are a case by case and scenario by scenario basis. I think it's up to the community to decide whether certain things are deemed like should be able to use, and depending on the circumstances we should decide if it's okay or not okay to use. But that's my opinion. I don't think just because something is an exploit, it means that everything in that exploit circle is the same.
I agree.
Yeah, I call it
Mm-hmm.
but rushing through a wall and you despawn and just, for example, putting on the other side, I think that's an exploit.
But should players use those exploits? Is it their fault they're using that, or their job at designing tracks?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, you cut out.
Okay. Do you think, like you said, the rushing through a wall and despawning, is that the player's fault for doing what's capable in the game, or is that Game Loft's fault for
Game
not
Loft's
developing
fault.
tracks?
Game Loft's fault.
Okay, thank you.
I think it's a bit of both, because just because you could
disagree
do
with
it
that.
doesn't mean you should be able to. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it.
Hey,
Yeah.
Caleb got away with
you can do
explaining,
it, you should do
explaining
it.
things.
If you can't do it, you should do it.
But I still think there should be some integrity that is held.
I don't like
Yeah.
y'all using integrity.
Now, okay, maybe integrity is not the right word. I
standard?
still think people should, a standard. Like, I still think people should think like, okay, if we do this, like, is this
A good look.
Is it like cool to do it, or would it be fine for everybody? Like, what's like the general consensus and stuff? Because if we do the lake, like, let's say the lake jump skip, everybody knows about the lake jump skip. If people see that, I don't think people are gonna bat an eye to it. Whereas the Great Wall skip, it would, it looked more crazy. Or let's say, let's say Riley's Mind, before Gameloft patched that out, if you race somebody, and then you saw somebody do that, like, it's, I guess, so Thralis, do you know the Riley's Mind wall ride thing?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay,
so to that, if let's say all shortcuts were allowed, and let's say when you were going against Team USA, Riley's Mind 1 came up, would you guys have used that Riley's Mind a wall shortcut?
All depends. I think the risk would have been too high to mess it up. At least for me, I would have not.
Thank you, because here's the thing about that wall ride. People might, that's too much distance, too much whatever. It's a high risk, high reward, because the margin for error is so high. If you don't pull it off, you are teleported like 50 miles backwards.
I know.
So,
me personally, I don't care about the high risk, high reward. I think there's a certain
that's your opinion. It doesn't matter what the game looks like. You know what the game looks like?
Hold on,
Caleb. We
But
got
look,
characters whose
I'm
abilities don't even work.
I'm explaining my opinion. It doesn't matter if it's an opinion. I'm explaining my opinion.
Yeah, go ahead.
in my opinion, I don't, there's certain shortcuts that I don't think should be taken advantage of because, it doesn't set a good precedent, especially by how much distance you're gaining and whatnot. But that's just my opinion.
I also want to add my opinion to that. Like I said, if there's a rule book saying it's not allowed, of course I would never use it. If it's allowed for some reason, I have to like think about the risk and reward. But for me, normally it depends. If it's allowed, of course, maybe you should use it, or I would use it. If not, that just depends.
I think for my case, like my opinion as well, I like granted I know there's things like this in most games that we play, but there's just like a fine line I won't cross just because at that point you're not really playing the game as intended to a degree. Like I'm not sure if any of you guys have played Skyrim before, but like there's an exploit where you can get underneath the map and open any chest in the world and collect any item that you want to. And like at that point, it's like, what's the point of playing the game? Or what's the point of doing quests for these items when I could just go underneath the map, open a chest, and pop out the item I want? Things like that, it doesn't bring me enjoyment. It doesn't make me feel like I've accomplished anything. So in this scenario, if I had the chance to practice this for 3 hours or however long I need to practice for just to do the wall skip, would I still use it in a match? Probably not, just because I think a certain standard also has to be held. I think it's to Caleb's point, I think it's fine to use this in maybe like a regulated or a ranked match. But in a tournament setting, I think there's different standards that we need to uphold ourselves to separate us from just like casual racers in this game. Because the best of
Well,
the
here's the
best
thing.
from all the
Mhm.
over the world come together to play at a high level. So I think we should be using our skill set on the track and not off different boundaries to get onto different tracks. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. And we standards and all that kind of stuff, but there are some people who feel like side bashing your opponent is cheating or side bashing is not fair game.
But that
And
is a
so,
mechanic
that's
in the
why you
game, and
can't.
it is intended though.
Yeah, but people are also talking about, oh, maybe it should get nerfed. But what's your opinion on side bashing, software?
Oh, of course,
Do you,
bash
do you,
as often as you can.
yeah,
I love
because
this mechanic.
some people, oh, this is fair. You're cheating. You're like, what do you say to those people who try to downplay side bashing or act like you're not
Should I just
being
say is
moral?
get good.
Okay.
No, that's so out of character for me. But yeah, what should I say? It's a mechanic. It's intended.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I think Caleb is asking that because we've heard a couple people kind of express negative feelings towards side bashing, or they don't do it because they feel like it's cheating or it's grieving or it's dirty or it's being mean. So we have ran across a couple of players even in the World Cup that felt like that. I mean, surprisingly, we've had on Team USA, we've actually had like 2 people on our team that feel that way too. They're not here,
I
but
noticed that also in one match on one particular map against USA.
yeah, but it's for us, for most people on Team USA, we like the mechanic, and we it's a part of the game. The game tells you to do this. The game rewards you for doing it. So I don't know why people feel that way, feel negatively towards it. That doesn't make any
I think I
sense to
can
me.
speak for
But
those people just because I'm on the fence with side bashing. Like I'm neither against it or for it. Just because I'm passive aggressive when I side bash, I use it more for defensive purposes than just being aggressive. but I can kind of see why they would hate side bashing, because not all side bashing is created equally. You also have to remember that.
I mean, there's a trade-off if you're bash. Like if you're bashing, you're not drifting. So there is a trade-off. You're actually like sacrificing boost or potentially losing the boost for just bashing someone.
But I think there's
you're missing.
I think there's I mean, the classes that benefit the most from side bashing, I would say, are defenders and brawlers. Brawlers, you gotta side bash for boost. Defenders, if you need a shield, side bash. Tricksters, yeah, you can side bash, but you can also play without side bashing to a degree. Speedsters don't really benefit at all from side bashing, to be honest.
Yeah, they
Oh,
do,
I
'cause
disagree.
I disagree.
I disagree.
No,
with
you
that.
don't. As a speedster, no, you benefit highly because if somebody has 2 bars of boost and you side bash them, guess what? They're no longer on boost. Or if they have 1 bar and they're like in the middle, you side bash them. Now they have to re-earn all of their boost.
Yep.
Yeah,
Fun
but
fact.
that's almost
go ahead,
every
Seth,
class. I think there needs to be
because if you side
something.
bash with a trickster, they don't lose their boost. If
Yeah,
if a
it
defender
stops their
side bash you,
acceleration.
it doesn't stop their boost.
I think a speedster needs like a boost bar fill, or not maybe a boost bar fill, but maybe like a small level 1 rush every time they side bash. They need something instead
Maybe
of just
the
stopping
speed
someone
boost-
getting boost.
The speed boost that they get from side bashing probably needs to be like buffed.
I
but-
think that should be buffed.
I want to add, it's not necessarily that the speedster benefits him or herself when bashing someone. It's just like the pain for the other. Like if you're bashing someone with a bad acceleration, they're on 0 and like kilometers per hour. I know
Yeah.
you're Europeans.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think that's pretty painful, actually. I
It is.
think the speedster bash are like the worst if you're receiving, because as Caleb down the strike, you're like losing boost. You're at 0 and you have to drive. Yeah, you have to wait. It's terrible.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you ever like I kid you guys not, a speedster bash has messed me up more than any other bash in the game.
Me too.
Like, imagine being on like a ramp, like you're about to go on a ramp and a speedster bumps you, especially if you're using like a heavy character.
You're falling off.
Everybody will pass you. Everybody is gonna pass you. And it's
I
just
want to make
because
a
of
quote
the
on
speedster.
that topic.
Go ahead.
A pretty funny one when we were playing on NA, no, not NA, I mean USA versus EU. We played Toontown, and like one wing was like pretty close to the finish line. He got a joy bash, and he said on stream, "Oh my god, that joy bash!" You actually seen that scene? It was terrible.
Yeah, that thing shuts your gears off, man. It's because when you SpeedStorm is a very fast-paced game, right?
Mhm.
So when you're like going so fast and all of a sudden a speedster bumps you and all of that gets shut down and you got to build that speed up, it's terrible. And not only that, if you're boosting, once you get bumped by a speedster, you stop boosting. So you have to build your meter again. So that's also another negative.
I just think that speedster could really get like a buff out of their bash as well, like not just for purposes of shutting down momentum of other characters, but like also help build your momentum, because as we've been stating this entire interview, they're kind of the weakest class in, well, not kind of, they are the weakest class in the hierarchy. So if they can also benefit from, after side bashing, you slow momentum down of your opponent, you also get maybe a level 1 rush out of it, like not like the item itself, but you get the level 1 boost effect from the rush. I think that'll also help the class as well.
Now,
I'd
the
be
reason
fine
I
with
brought
that.
up side bashing is because when we're talking about integrity, there are people who feel like if you side bash somebody, that's not integrity. So, in regards to the shortcuts, that's why I brought that up, because we can't just go off of what people think is having integrity and not having integrity.
Yeah, but Caleb, I think
Because
side
people
bashing
it's
is
just-
different.
it's
agree
just-
on that.
It's just one, side bashing I think is different.
Yeah.
Like Caleb said. I mean, not Caleb, Sammy said, because side bashing and taking shortcuts aren't recognized as the same. They're not in the same category. And 2, it's opinions. It's some people don't like side bashing. It's an opinion.
Same way some people don't like drifting.
Yeah, that's an opinion too.
At some point, we got to quit trying to punish high-level players for taking advantage of what's possible in the game. Some people feel like if you're Jafar and you stun somebody with fire, you shouldn't be breaking and stunning them again over and over. They feel like, oh, that's part of the game. So it's just like let the high-level players do what they do. And if you got to set rules, set your rules. But let's keep it at that. Let's not, throw no shade at nobody. They know how to use the game better than somebody else. But I guess, we can leave it at that when it comes to the shortcuts. And
I love bashing.
yeah, me too.
Hey,
and we saw because you were messing up. You were about to head there to USA, but you was messing up. Or Team Europe, maybe it was you, was messing up our brawler because of those side bashes. So yeah, side bashes are definitely crucial.
So yeah, man, we're on the
Final match.
The final match. Before we get there, so Thriller, do you want to talk? I mean, we here, so we gonna talk about it. Explain the whole thing about the match being postponed and everything that happened in that scenario.
Jesus, these memories. I sent you the screenshots. I mean, I could not start the game. It was not possible. On any device, different account, I could not log on that day for some reason. It was the only day since I'm playing this game where that happened. Or happened since again, or yeah.
Yeah, man, it was a tough time because I know when you hit me up about that, it was probably like maybe 3 hours before the match or something like that. And
Yeah, and to be honest, a lot of people said if I would have not participated, it would have turned out pretty differently. And my team also wanted that me playing, but I was kind of helpless. I could just say I cannot start the game. What should I do? There's nothing I can do about it. And it was getting frustrating, and of course I reached you out. And by the way, big shout outs to you or everyone who postponed it. It was a really honorable thing. I want to say. I said it so many times. It was such an honorable act. I mean, that kind of makes USA a winner in itself, right?
Nano's showing some integrity.
Yeah, but it's I'm happy that I did it, but like I said, so Threllis, there were plenty of people who disagreed with my decision, especially people on my team.
I can understand that just because, a lot of teams were without their key players, and as Sofrellis experienced, he's went up against two teams like that, and it wasn't a favorable match. I don't think a final match should be run that way either way, just because it just doesn't have the same hype, going into it. You want the two teams at their best abilities. You don't want to know that a star player is missing. It doesn't draw the same match. It doesn't give you the same thrill as the audience, the viewers watching. And I'm sure as competitors, you wouldn't want that either. You want to face the best of the best, not on their off day.
Go ahead. So
I wanted to add about the previous matches. I would have just wished before that the players reached me out and talked about it. We would also postpone it, but you have to actually contact the captain, which didn't happen. But yeah, as I said before, we wanted to face everyone's S team. But there's
I know.
Sorry.
I know. Caleb was one of the people on our team who was really against this. So, Caleb, do you want to explain your viewpoint?
Yeah, I will. Let's say, I it's the final match, and I'm not able to race because my PlayStation 5 is like glitching and not working. Would you guys have postponed the match to play against
100%.
me, or
100%. If Nan would have asked me, yes, we would have done that easily.
but what we do have subs. There's Paulie, there's Hot Pockets. They could have filled in for me. Would you have if I didn't get my PS5 to start and then Paulie had to take my place? Would you guys have postponed it so I could play, or would you be like, oh well, they have Paulie, so let him get in?
Let me say, if Nano would have come to me, let's just a scenario, we just think about it. If he would have come to me and said, hey, Caleb's PlayStation 5 that doesn't work, but I'm confident that we only could win with him. Can we postpone it? I would have said yes. At least the problem is I cannot prove it anymore. Like, there's no way I can prove that actually. But if I should be the upstanding person I would wish to be, yes, we would have postponed it.
Okay, that's fair. I guess, to clarify, the opinion, especially from a competitive standpoint, is, it's kind of like, I was under the impression it's like, okay, well, they have a team of 6 or 7. They do have subs. So just because one person can't play, why can't they use their subs? Because what's the point of having teams of 8 and subs if when something happens, people aren't going to use their subs?
Yeah,
I
agree.
So
we're basically having 4 players only, basically, because some people just do other things. Just say it nicely.
Yeah, so I was just, I know you're you were trying to log in your girlfriend's account too or something like that.
Yeah.
So she couldn't have played either because all of you guys is info. So I'm thinking, okay, well, there's still
any difference if she played or I played, because we were basically the same person in this lineup. Basically.
Yeah. But since both of you guys were out, I'm looking at the roster and it's like, yo, like, what's up with Staylox? Like, on paper it says he's a part of Team Europe. South Realis's computer isn't working. Why don't they put him in? And here's the thing, like, yes, it probably wouldn't have been more competitive and Team USA probably would have won, but it was something more about the rules and the consistency of the rules, because we have already had so many situations where the rules were bending, and it's just like it felt like another situation like that. Like, dang, like
I also have to try to bend for my team. Also, there are also people who wished for me playing, kind of almost begging.
Mm-hmm. So it's that's pretty much the perspective of why. Like, honestly, I want to race against you guys at the strongest and the best, but at the same time, part of it's like, people take off time or change plans for this match, and it's like people have subs. That's why, like, I'm kind of glad in the end they lowered the amount of people on the team, because I just feel like if there's 8, the whole purpose of subs is, oh, if you have work and you can't race, a sub is going to take your place. So that's why in the final, I'm just thinking like, why aren't people using subs? But but I guess you say there's things behind the scenes going on. Y'all basically have 4 people, but from the opposite end looking in,
we also lost 2 people in the lost 2 people.
Yeah.
So we're basically we didn't even have the opportunity to change or like getting new subs, because I think it was not allowed. I don't know, but
yeah.
I definitely could see it both sides. Like with Caleb's side, I could definitely see it's like, well, that's the point of we having subs in the first place, so that if one person misses the match, you could have a sub take their place. Otherwise, what is the point of having subs? So I can definitely see it that way. But I could also see it in the way of, as a viewer or as opponents that are very competitive, that want to have the best match possible and want to face their opponent at like their very best. I could see why they would wait and postpone to do the match when everyone is available again. So I guess it's really, it is an unwritten rule, but at this point, as Safralis said, like if the roles were reversed, he would have done the same thing, just because he holds himself to that standard as a outstanding person. So I really don't have any disagreements on both sides.
Well said. Well said.
Mm-hmm. This actually spawned a question for that I wanted to ask, that I will ask Sammy, but I will ask him when we do the Team Canada interview.
Really? What question is
So,
that?
well, I mean, I guess I could ask now, but I will probably ask again in the Team Canada interview.
Okay.
So I know a big thing is about, a lot of people have been talking about, and I don't know if you've heard this around Tusa Threllis, but a lot of people have been talking about, like, just the consistency of the rules, right?
Mm.
Team Canada ended up adding somebody on their team, like, after the groups were finalized, and they still have 4 racers. So do you feel like the same should apply to Team Canada, even though,
I don't see a
we're
reason
not?
why not. Actually,
So okay, so what I'm getting at is, they ended up adding somebody on their team. So, and this is like well into the World Cup.
This was I can tell you exactly when this happened. This was when it was week 3. Everyone was supposed to race, but then the situation with Duff happened, so it gave everyone an extra week. The problem was we would have only lost one person on our team, which we definitely could have raced with still. However, when we had to postpone in the following week, everyone was actually busy. So we had to like narrow our schedules down to like within the hour. And I don't know if you remember, but immediately after that race finished, Crusher left because he had no more time to spare. And
Mm-hmm.
Reach, I believe, was on vacation.
Oh.
The week that
Okay.
we were supposed to race originally. So that was the only reason why we were probably saying we'd probably have to forfeit as a team, because we could only drive with 3 members, and it was possible that I was probably going to be the only member on my team racing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only reason why I ask is because I know usually people give a lot, the host flack for not, for changing the rules. But I could, like, in this instance, it kind of worked in Canada's favor. Wouldn't you agree?
Is that still a question for me?
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I guess technically anybody can answer it.
yeah,
Well, I get
yeah,
what you're
go ahead.
saying. Then, though, I think part of the rules were once a team's established, they can't add new people. So they did bend the
Yes.
rules that allow you to add somebody to your roster. So when everybody's talking about, oh, he's bending the rules. There have been times where he's bended the rules to help your team. So that's the point he's making.
So,
you know what?
yeah, go ahead, Soft Rallis.
I mean, in our case, I'm just interrupting now to
No,
problem.
Go ahead.
like I think it's absolutely justified. I just maybe taking the EU situation as an example. When someone passes away, I think that's totally justifiable if you like can get another sub, for example. Like if there's like
Yeah.
an urgent case why you need a new member.
Yeah.
I think Dove made it like
Okay.
well, that was like the perfect, I think, the perfect justification, which we didn't use, by the way.
Let's just talk
I
about.
guess that's like an extreme case.
I think
So
for my
I feel like
case,
it would be justified.
to answer your question, my opinion, I could see both sides. Obviously, yes and no. It did benefit my team. I would say yes, it benefited our team because, as you know, or I hope at least everyone knows by now, that our roster was actually the smallest. We had the minimum requirements to fill out our roster, which was 4. Like I stated in a previous interview, had I not joined Team Canada and had joined Team NA, Canada probably wouldn't have been in the tournament. However, with that situation in mind, we were fortunate enough that, like I stated earlier, I was probably going to be the only one racing. However, we did find a way to make it work. And Nilisi did offer us to grab one more person if we couldn't, because I believe the consensus was that it just wouldn't have been a good showing for the tournament had the team just completely forfeited that week, especially with everything that had happened the previous week. We kind of wanted to get things back on track, and that opponent that week that we had to face was Brazil. So I'm not sure how Brazil would have taken it if they weren't able to race. Maybe they wouldn't care. I'm not sure, but that's a question we could ask them in their interview.
Okay.
Before we get to NA, the final match USA versus Europe, I want to ask you, Sothralis, how would you rate North America? Team USA's rosters from best to worst?
Well, I did not do that with Team EU, so I'm sorry. I'm not gonna rate also Team USA. Just
That's fair.
Don't want to. Okay,
I have to be consistent. So if I'm not gonna rate my own team, I'm not gonna rate others' team because I don't see I have any right for doing that. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Sorry to disappoint you.
No, it's all good. We gotta ask the spicy questions. Let people say what they want to say or not say what they don't want to say. So.
All right, so I guess all that being said, we on to the finals match, man. So, Mr. Sothralis, what were you guys thinking going? It's like, what were you guys thinking when it comes to this finals match?
So we were expecting that this time at least USA is gonna come with their S team. Hopefully. Not like the previous two. Then we also, we were like my philosophy, at least when in my team, I rather be relaxed than being stressed. If we're like always focusing on practicing every day or every hour, and I know just exaggerating things, but the less we think about, the more relaxed we are. So that was our philosophy throughout the whole tournament. We only practice once we did the hoodie, everyone, and then we also came to a group chat twice, and then we just talked about how we should prepare our lineups, and then afterwards we just went our ways, waited for the day to come.
Okay, is this just regarding like the final match, or is this like kind of every race, but except for the Benelux one in the group stage?
Yeah, basically every race. The Benelux we kind of slacked.
Okay.
More than the other matches.
So for Team USA, you practice one time with the hoodie practice?
Basically two. As I said, we just rather like practice once or twice and then just go our ways, relax ourselves, and then when the day comes, we just give our best.
That's interesting.
We were kind of hyped. We were pretty hyped. I want to say we were pretty hyped.
That's dope because I feel like our practice was good, but there were times where I felt like Team USA might have did too much practice, and the times that we did do that was going against Europe. So, there were times we had 5-hour sessions, practiced 4 days a week. Like it got too much at some points.
I agree.
I will say,
we were, even though that might be the case, I don't regret it because we recognize you guys as a incredibly strong team. And I feel like we were just trying to put ourselves in position to be prepared for your team. So I don't regret it whatsoever.
The thing about SpeedStorm is this game is so unpredictable. There are so many things you cannot practice. And it comes down to player skills. And everyone has their own regimen or way to practice for these cases.
I want to ask, why did you guys ban Cruella?
A pretty obvious reason. Initially, Roman Ja didn't have her, but he gambled her 2 days afterwards, and then he got her. And he was so regretting. I want to drive for Cruella. He even asked me to ask Nano make a gentleman's agreement to unban her.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I wish he did, because if he did, I would have told Nano to accept. Because I actually wanted to use Corella, because I actually spent tokens to unlock her box. So I would have unlocked her because anyway, but I wanted to have her for the tournament, so I went out of my way to use the tokens.
I mean, I would have. We would have unbanned her. I mean, it's not like we banned her. You guys banned her.
Yeah, because Roman Ja said, "Oh, I don't have her," just then ban her instead, and then oh, I got her. Now I opened one box. I was lucky.
Yeah, because that would have made things way more interesting. Would have had more tools at my disposal. Even Roman Ja would have more tools. So I was just wondering if that was like something strategically you were doing, or because maybe you guys didn't have the character at the time.
You know, that's an interesting topic about coming with our bans, like or justification for like all of our bans. So we never did any specific target bans. We usually only banned characters that were like super gimmicky. That was like, ironically, except for the match versus EU versus USA, the first one, that we didn't ban Oswald, and we regretted it.
He stepped under the radar. Thank goodness.
But
y'all banned Calhoun, but yeah.
Yeah, but since then we always ban gimmicky characters like Calhoun. Like Calhoun is kind of random. Either their Calhoun or our Calhoun is first or 8th place. It's a mess.
Yep.
I wanted to ask, the first time against playing against USA, why were your bans so late? I think you didn't give us your bans until like the day before the match.
I mean, as I said, we were disorganized. Our morale was pretty low. We kind of had to gather together and at least try.
Okay. Yeah. So moral.
Nothing specifically. We were just lazy.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. Because sometimes you overthinking what your competitors are doing. Like, man, they trying to ice us out. They trying to ice the kicker. But nah.
It was the total opposite. It was the total opposite. Didn't think about it even like not too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Corella, that's all I want to know. That would have been interesting if we had her, but it is what it is. But I'm glad I know that now. So then I want to talk about strategy. So our strategy, I'll just tell you this, was our goal was to have Cosmic on Brawler, so that, because here's the thing about Cosmic in practices, throughout this whole 2-month series tournament, whenever we practice, Cosmic is always like miles ahead on the Brawler, whether he's Gaston or Anger or Ralph, like he's always super far ahead. And we're thinking, okay, well, Maxi, he's always, seems to be in first. If we put Cosmic on Brawler, he might be able to like stun Maxi or, Saltarales and, kind of like give, our team a chance to, maybe catch up, take the lead. So that was kind of like how we were kind of strategizing against you guys, where we thought, Cosmic would be that, that X factor to kind of, disrupt whatever you guys were doing. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I love bashing back, so I bashed a lot in this match.
Yeah. Unfortunately for us, Cosmic doesn't like bashing.
So
you know what? We knew that. We knew that. We abused that.
Yeah, we saw, like, I was watching the Cosmic's VOD and y'all were doing him dirty. Started the race, ready, set, go, side bash, bam, he's out the race. Shit was wild. I'm like, damn, so this is why you need to learn how to side bash.
Kudos on you for taking advantage, man, because that definitely been,
and I'm going to protect my trickster.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So yeah, speaking of that, I gave you kind of like our strategy. What was like your strategy going into the final? Like, did you have like any like specific strategy?
Yeah, I explained it at the start of the interview. Like, our strategy, of course, get optimally me or Maxi first, and then we're trying to build a train, and we're trying to hold that. That was like a whole game plan.
Okay, so I want to ask you guys this. So did you guys know about the whole lobby formation for the starting line thing?
Oh yeah, that was the new rule that was like added later in the tournament. It was pretty easy. Trickster at front. If the Trickster gets the lead at the start, he can hold it. And that's exactly what happened.
Okay, so that's actually different than what we were thinking. We were thinking like since Speedster was our lowest class, was like the slowest class, we'd have Speedster in front and also Brawler in front because of the idea, that Caleb just told you what we were planning.
Yeah.
I will
Oh, I
say
can
it did
elaborate
help the
more.
speedsters. Basically, like for instance, on Brawler, there's characters like Triton, right? If Triton's behind, he struggles, but if Triton is ahead, he can dominate with his wave. So that's why we had our Brawlers starting first. But you're saying that I noticed you had Maxi and you starting first. So
No, I was last actually. I was always last. As a
okay, well
defender.
Maxi was first.
It
I
makes
saw
sense
that.
to start last as a defender because you can get boost and work your way up.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So yeah, defender makes sense. But yeah, y'all did have your Trickster in the starting position.
Let me elaborate about that part. So what I learned personally from Maxi in this tournament, like what I also observed, like he always said to us, he wanted to get in the first position if possible. Before that, we actually didn't know it was not random. We thought it was always random. So every time he was not first place,
Damn,
he was
so
always,
Maxi
yeah.
knew.
He knew and he just didn't tell y'all. Damn.
Like always when he was at the back, he said, "Oh no, I'm back. That's gonna be bad or something." He always was talking about that, and then since later then the rule changed, and we said to us, "Wait, it's not random."
Yep. I actually was the
Yeah.
first person to figure that out.
Yeah, man. He
I'm the reason why
Sammy
the
put
rule
us on
change
game,
happened.
man.
Because had I not
Yeah.
figured that out against Team Brazil, that's why on my Triton picks I did so poorly because I started in the back and I said, why? I thought it was random as well. And then I realized going into the third match in the Brazil series, I was checking how many times I would start in the same position and where my teammates were, and it was the same every time. So I said, okay, guys, I think it's based on where you're placed in the lobby. So when we switch and host the next time, make sure we have the top 4 spots going into the lobby. And lo and behold, as soon as we start the match, we're in the front. Obviously, we still lost because there was nothing we could do with how things panned out with the whole lobby situation, Brazil taking advantage of that. However, I relayed this information to Nano and his team, which they were able to use it against Benelux to some degree. But because of that whole scenario with them and Benelux, Benelux ended up changing the rules going into the knockout stages.
Yeah.
Because they were taking advantage of hosting and getting the top 4 spots. But then when we were trying to host and get our top 4 spots, they were trying to stop that from happening. So it's just interesting. But yeah, I guess we were just wondering if you knew about that, about the lobby stuff. But I guess we can start talking about the matches.
Yep.
Saying Trickster at the front. If he gets the lead, you're safe. You can build up the
Here's
train.
Okay.
Like it's a simple reason. A brawler, if a brawler's first place, there's nothing guaranteed that the brawler can hold it because maybe eventually you lose boost.
Okay. And that's actually a fire strategy, man. And
But
it's crazy because it's crazy. Not to cut you off.
We felt like y'all were starting strong too. We're like,
but because the thing is even though we had our idea for the setup, like a couple matches into the race, I realized Maxi, I understood that even from the very beginning, I realized that Maxi was in the first position and he's the trickster. And with me being on the lower half, what I was noticing is that when we would start, a lot of times I wouldn't have the best start. And, it would kind of make me start in the back. And then sometimes I would struggle because sometimes, being in the back, you get stunned and, miss items and stuff like that.
One
But
stun
with,
is
like,
enough in that position.
yeah.
One stun.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
now that I think about it, because Maxi did good starting first. Nano was starting towards the back end. I think Nano, that was probably the one race Nano probably struggled the most on Trickster, was being
It
in the back.
was like I'm not gonna lie, Sothralis, out of all of the teams, I struggle. Like, if I'm being honest, whenever I was in a race versus any other team, I never really struggled like that. But versus you guys, I struggled a lot.
There's
Yeah.
I once talked with someone, I don't know who it was. There's a reason for that. Normally, in almost every match, people are just used that the defenders are always first place. These matches were unique because there was actually the trickster at first place and the other defender. It was not the defender versus defender, it was the defender versus the trickster, if that situation came. It was pretty unique. I think even One Week
Yeah.
was not used to that. That there was the
He wasn't. He wasn't at all.
So a lot of people thought, Maxi, he's gonna win every single race and all that kind of stuff. But there were some times where we stopped that from happening. I know I was sabotaging Maxi a little bit.
Oh yeah, I remember.
What was Maxi's reaction to when, he was kind of getting knocked off stage with sabotage?
You know what? Maxi is one of the most like coolest people I've known. He's always cool. He's always composed. His reactions were pretty unspectacular to be.
Just took it on the chin.
No, he said something. He called out, I was bashed," or "Oh shit, I got busted," or something. But he was always cool, focused, composed.
Yeah, because for me, like, I think the highlights for me was there was the Great Wall. I was on Stitch, and I was kind of able to, gatekeep the front positions. I think it was you. You came back on Goofy right at the last corner and used your auto, and I think passed me right before the finish line. But I think we ended up what's it called? Yeah, tying, and I did beat Baxi on that one. And I do remember it was a silver screen. He
By the
was
way,
on Ursula.
I also remember your one about the Great Wall. I remember even your reaction on stream. You were like so shocked that it was still a tie.
Yeah, I'm like, ain't no way I'm racing my life. It's all your fault. No, I was like, that stuff was wild. See, that's the thing, right? About getting an early lead is like, once you have a point lead, even if like people have a good race, if they're only gaining 1 and 2 points when they're down 20, like, it's gonna be hard to catch up. So it was just like, dang, like, even though I'm racing my ass off, y'all are still holding y'all lead. It was wild.
I want to elaborate one situation in that race particularly. It was the last round. I was Goofy, and I don't know if you can actually see it in One Wing's VOD. I took a far turn to get an item. I gambled all my RNG on that last box to get the auto, his ult, and I got it actually.
Dang.
Okay.
You would have got first place, second place, and third. First and second place guaranteed if I would have not gotten the item. 100%.
Okay, it's a little bit of RNG.
Like my thought process was, okay, Caleb was first. One Wing was Felix. He's gonna out handling me anyway. So I thought, okay, I need to gamble that item. Otherwise, I would have been third place anyway, even if I just took the tight turn. Then I picked up the item. It was the auto, and I turned into a tie.
I'm not gonna lie. As a racer, I was impressed. I'm like, dang, okay, there we go. Cause shout out to you, cause you're on a middleweight too. Cause I think for that track, I think the lightweights were performing a little bit better.
Yeah, but Goofy's a sleeper pick even on this map. Goofy's a sleeper. There's a position where you can auto, and he just basically puts you on the finish line.
Yeah, that makes up for his lack of handling that auto. What were you guys like reaction to Silver Screen? Because I think that was the one race that we kind of swept. We got the 1, 2, 3.
We
what were you guys?
actually, yeah, something to say about that silver screen net. We knew it's one of the most gimmicky maps because of the net. And there's some things we could not control, but we hope for the best. It didn't happen.
Yeah. We were fighting. You were fighting your ass off as a defender, but we were really trying hard to get you out of there. We were trying to coordinate because we're at a dire point at that point because we're down. And we're like we need sweeps to catch up. So that was one of the races where we're like, okay, let's try to catch up, and it just ended up working out.
Yeah,
I think you guys.
Funnily enough, Sothralis, that match, even though we USA ended up getting the first 3 spots, you guys still made it hard for Cosmic. He ended up getting last place. And even though we got points, it's Cosmic being in last place still wasn't really good for us. So I commend you guys.
I tell people it's as important getting first and second place than it's as important getting the opposing team 8th and 7th place than getting first and second place. That is as important. It has the same effect basically. Points wise.
Yeah. That's true.
Man.
But no, you got a lot of points I think we were like it was 2 points before a full sweep. I think 2 points. But yeah.
Yeah, man, you guys, I'm not gonna lie, Sothralis, you guys, I'm glad we postponed the match, man, because I'm glad we raced you guys at your strongest, because I feel like, and even in this conversation, I feel like we've learned so much about, just how you guys play and what you guys use, and it's very it was a great learning experience. I'm not gonna lie. I thought the way we were like preparing and stuff, I thought that specific match would have been closer. Like there's, it really made me put things into perspective that like, damn, there's like a lot. Granted, there's probably stuff we could have did as a team better to help, just at least make the match a little bit more competitive, but in terms of scoring. But I feel like we've learned so much from that match that we needed a match like that, because that's gonna help us, get stronger.
I agree.
As a team. So you guys, I ain't gonna lie, man. You guys spanked us, bro. You guys spanked us, and we gon' get stronger because of that. So if USA getting stronger is because of you guys.
Fun fact: I told you, Nano. I don't know if all the viewers are gonna know that, but I'm a U.S. citizen. Just saying.
Wow.
That's funny, man. Yeah, I do remember you telling me that.
Yeah, I got spanked by your own teammate.
Hey, man.
It be your own people.
It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good, man.
This guy spanked you, and then they disbanded their whole team.
Nah, man. Hey,
okay. I gotta ask. There's been some rumblings that people on Team Europe might retire because there's no competition. Is it our fault? Did we not give you enough guys enough competition? Like, I heard Maxi's retiring. Like, let's say we would have won and we would have beat you guys by 80 points and gave y'all some crazy races. Would Maxi retire? Would he still retire?
I mean, it's fun fact. Before the match was like 3 days, I made a big. I posted like a big text in our private chat that regardless of the outcome, specific people are going to retire. So yeah, I think it would have not had an effect. We would have retired anyway.
Okay. Just was wondering. Cause I'm like, I hope I put a good enough fight for you guys.
No, Maxi also wanted to play different games. I also wanted to too, or it was just too stressing for me. I just wanted to play something different.
Yeah,
for that.
there's a
But
lot of games out.
regardless, we would have retired anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Oh,
I mean,
one. hmm
oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Caleb.
I was gonna bring up another race.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
What do you guys, from your perspective, on Factory? Like, what happened there? Because y'all swept us the first time we went against you guys. How did y'all sweep us again on Factory?
Oh, I remember it. Yeah, specifically. Yes, it was the fourth or fifth round, and I was Jumba. Fun fact: we call in Germany, his name is Jamba. That's the
Mhm.
German name for Jumba. We noticed that One Wing was at first place, and I asked my teammates if I mean we were trying to follow him, we were trying to like overturn him, and I asked my teammate, does he have defense or something? I was holding my ult, waiting for that specific moment, and then they call out he doesn't have any defense, and then at that point I shot my ult, he was stunned, and then Frrari bashed him again, and then the train was complete.
Yeah, and I'm actually looking at the video now as I'm talking with it. I think you were jumping, you were behind for a little bit, and I think you threw, instead of doing a tap, you threw a bomb backwards and you hit, I think, me and Cosmic, and we couldn't catch up after that because we had a lot of friendly fire by Cosmic.
Oh yeah, I
So,
was gatekeeping as a defender. Yeah, I was gatekeeping.
yeah, so that's actually some proof that explains why we couldn't get ahead, and I think you were frustrating Cosmic so much that he started turning on his own teammates. So that was the
Yeah.
W gatekeep.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was one of another obstacle that we had to deal with, which kind of sucks. But
You know that factory magic broke your morale. We noticed that. That was like that broke you.
it's crazy because we like me and some of the other team were still trying to keep the morale up. But one thing about Cosmic is once he's like upset, that like he like stays in that mode. And like, we were trying to tell him to, just keep it cool, but he couldn't, man. He couldn't. He after that match, that match kind of started like his whole tirade and like complaining and everything like that. And
He was on a mission.
that negatively affected the team. So, but that's still a testament to Team Europe and you guys' sound strategy and skill. So, that's just something USA got to bite. We got to take it on the chin.
Well, I wanted to add one thing. If players like having problems with their emotions, just I mean, I always expect these kind of things to happen in SpeedStorm. So that's my way to like try to like let's say I don't find, just looking for the correct words, like for preparing for these kind of situations to like keep my cool, because they're gonna happen anyway. It's SpeedStorm.
Yeah.
And I know about the skills of my teammates, and I was pretty confident, and I also trusted my teammates. So that's my way to avoid these kind of situations. If I know I'm down, I'm not doing my stuff, I know my team is gonna carry me if I'm performing. We were actually in that regards, we were pretty close to each other. We were kind of immune to that at that point. These kind of fallbacks, because when you swept us in the silver screen, we didn't actually bother that much. We said, "Oh yeah, it sucks, but it's gonna happen." We're trying our next game, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good mentality, y'all got.
Unfortunately, I think most people on our team are, pretty good at keeping the morale up, but unfortunately, I can't speak for everybody on our team.
There's always things you can blame on yourself, and I always say it myself. I'm always saying I could always play better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There are rarely any cases where others have an influence. I mean, yes, of course, there are some situations, but at the end of the day, Yeah, it's hard to tell. Like as I said, SpeedStorm is too random sometimes. It's hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, there are definitely things you got. Sometimes you got to look back and like you could do better. Like I know on specifically on race 13, that was short circuit. One thing I could have did better because I was leading that race at one point with Mike, and then you came with Steamboat Mickey, and then you knocked me off the stage with a side bash.
Oh, did
that
I?
motherfucker. Yes, that was wild. And I'm just like, you know what? That's my fault for being so close to the edge. But yeah, so you probably didn't even know. You just like were in the zone. But yeah,
But
that was
I know
first to
I
last.
bashed. I didn't see who I bashed, but at the end of the race, I bashed someone so hard, and I didn't notice who it was initially. And afterwards, I was looking at the chat, and it's yeah, you know
Oh
the
yeah, so
rest.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was clutch. Yeah, so what about okay, race 14, I think that was Jungle Ruins. You guys were I think that was the one where me and Roman Ja were on Will Turner and we were kind of battling it out because I know like at that point the game was already over
Yeah.
and we didn't like have a chance to win. So I'm basically racing to get the most points on Speedster. And you know, I think
we
you
didn't
and
we didn't pay much attention afterwards. It was pretty relaxed.
y'all just going. I remember the last stretch on the straightaway. You were on Davy Jones and you put them damn tentacles up, and that was my race because I was coming back. Do you remember that at all?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, that was wild. I'm not gonna lie, that was wild. I think you hit you hit me. I think you hit a Roman job, but he was able to come back. I think with his
Oh
ability.
yeah, we had a competition between us also.
Oh, okay, so then y'all just
we just
racing at
didn't
that
care.
point.
Like we just didn't care at that point anymore. We're just saying, all right, we're just gonna race and didn't
Okay, so
bother
that's
that
why y'all
much.
are so savage. And I guess lastly, just my last question. Kawhi. At one point I took a door and I was in first. And then Maxi kind of like was following me. I guess looking to destroy the next door I had. Was he saying anything about destroying?
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, he did actually say something.
Oh, what did he say?
I'm sorry, I cannot remember exactly, but he was definitely saying something.
So he was. I knew it. I was about to take off, and then Maxi kind of messed all that up. So that's the first where like that moment I was like, yo, kudos to Maxi because I can tell he's a top level player because he knew exactly what I was doing. He knew the exact spot I was gonna put it, and he stopped that. So I was like, okay, shout out to Maxi. And then later on, I still had a chance to come back, but then got some friendly fire by my teammate that was purposeful. But it is what it is. But just that moment, I'm like, yo, I know he had to be plotting. But yeah, so I mean that's my questions. That's my, I guess, I'm looking at all the races. And then after that, the last race, y'all, it was kind of y'all beat us or something like that. But
Yeah,
overall, gained a lot of respect for you guys. Because here's the thing, I joined this game. I never did any tournaments. I don't know who the best players are. And, I'm kind of trying to get an idea of who the top players are. Because sometimes with ranked, you never know because people are pay to win. Or they maybe they just use RB auto drive for the leaderboard. So you don't really know who's the best. But after this tournament, I gained a lot of respect for, Team Europe and everybody on Team Europe. You guys really impressed me and showed me, all of your skill and talent. So, shout out to y'all.
Likewise.
Yeah, man. I want to say, Seth Alice, it was I know the rest of your team, couldn't join the interview, but I've always respected Team Europe and your players, but kind of like what Caleb said, this World Cup has definitely let me gain a lot more respect for you guys than I already had. It was an honor racing with you guys. I guess it's dope that we were able to go against some of you guys and that being your last race and stuff like that. It's an honor. You guys taught us a lot. Even in this interview, you taught us a lot. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm pretty excited for divisions because we could probably put some of that stuff to work and see how that helps our team and stuff. So you know,
Oh.
I go ahead.
Just saying, it's gonna end now. The interview. Oh, I'm so sad.
Yeah, man. I mean, we got to the end, man. We got to the end. But yeah,
Is
man,
there
you
any
guys
topic-
did amazing, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mhm.
Is there still any topic about a debate, like which class is better or anything else you have on your mind?
Well, there was
Mm,
something we were supposed to come back to, but I completely forgot. We were gonna talk about it
Mm.
after the final race.
Hmm. Oh.
Long pause.
I got a question. On the first time we raced against you, I don't know if you saw in the Team USA intro. I'm like screaming, I got her, I got her, I got her. When you were on Elizabeth Swan. Do you remember that moment?
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
I was trying so hard. And then it was crazy because I did all of that and you still recovered hella quickly.
Yeah,
was
it
like,
would not matter. As I said before, it would not matter if I would have been first place. You would have won regardless.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Would not
man.
change anything.
So did Maxie say anything about USA after the match, or did he enjoy the races at all?
Oh, you mean the first one or the second one?
The final.
Okay, because he was not there at the first one. He was not in Discord.
Oh yeah, I'm fast forwarding into the final. Did he?
Okay. Well, you're gonna be disappointed. He didn't say much. It said he was glad racing with us. It was an honor. Now he can do whatever he wants.
Hey
That's
man,
what's up.
it's all good, man. You know, we used to have fun racing you guys, and it's all good, man. It's all good. I think. Go ahead.
I say I don't want to sound cocky because that's not usual my thing, but I
Nah,
think
man.
at least they said once they have the top two Germans at least in the team.
Yeah.
Oh, who were the
Hey,
Germans?
Maxi and I, we are both Germans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. Hey,
Hey,
you
I don't know,
definitely skilled
man.
enough to be up there, man.
I don't know,
You
man.
definitely
I
skilled
think you
enough
guys
to
are.
be
I think he's
considered.
right.
I
Who's
think-
the other German? Bozzy. Y'all definitely better than
Yeah.
Bozzy.
I don't know,
Y'all definitely
man.
better
Boss
than
might have
Bozzy.
something to say about that.
I
He can
think
say
I'm-
whatever he wants.
I think I'm worse than him.
Oh man, that's funny. I forget that Bozzy is German. Yeah,
Well,
man.
y'all definitely showed a good side of German and German people, because there's the toxic side and there's the positive side. So I think y'all definitely represented, especially y'all being Germans and the last tournament happened the way it happened. So I think y'all definitely.
I don't want to elaborate more, but I disagree on that. But that's a different topic for.
Okay. So there's some internal stuff I don't know. My bad.
No, about the
Okay.
German thing. No, we just leave it as it is.
Okay.
Yeah, man. But Sammy, do you have anything for Mr. Sotarlis?
I mean, I was trying to think of a question because he was kind of sad that we were done.
Oh, just saying,
good.
I'm really, really thankful and honored being interviewed. It was a great honor.
You're
I'm
welcome.
glad I did it, and thanks for the invite.
Of course, man. You know us. Hey, I'm gonna say this, Sotarlis. I know you might be retiring from SpeedStorm and all that, man, but I do hope eventually you are Maxian coming back because we need top level talent in the game, and it kind of keeps the competitive drive going for a lot of us to get better. And
I know this
I feel
time is
like
always about Maxi and I, but I don't want to discredit any one of my other teammates. Did amazing.
Yeah, that's one thing. I think
course,
I don't know. It was an interview, some interview with Sammy and us, and I was just talking about. I was all like, "Yo, like Frrari, he did his thing."
Yep.
On Brawlers. 'Cause I know, I kind of faced off heads up against him in the first matchup, but in the final, he performed. He did very well.
Roman Jaw, on the speedsters. Like I was definitely me. He might have not been gunning, but I was gunning for it, and he showed why he's really good on the speedsters. You did your thing, Maxie did like that was what you were talking about earlier. Like a team of 4 strong players will always be a team with three strong players and one not so whatever. But
And
you guys
also
definitely
oh, sorry.
are a big 4. But yeah.
They also had to drive their unthankful roles. So of course, Maxi and I were always first and second place because we had the stronger classes. So
But
never
one
discredit the other racers for performing so well.
It was a team victory. It
Of
wasn't
course,
a
man.
South Rallis victory. It wasn't a Maxi victory. It was a team Europe victory. And Roman Jaw and Frrari actually are probably one of the reasons why we lost, because they handled business on the track. So shout out to
They
them.
did, man.
So,
They did. Even though you guys did, you and Maxi did good stuff, Thrillers, you guys couldn't have won without Romanjo and Frrari doing as good as they did.
100%,
Because
definitely.
they made it hard for us. While you guys, if you guys, even though you guys might have been in the front for most of the races, them two
In the middle of the pack
definitely made it difficult for us. So
As I said, putting the opposing racers in 8th or 7th place is as important.
The question.
It is, man. It is.
So, you'll be joining Team USA for the next World Cup, South Rallis?
I just mentioned the possibility that it's possible, right?
I don't know. I might have to block that.
You got a super team. Stop it.
I might have to block that from happening. I might have to become a host.
I mean, if there's for some reason no one of my previous team comes back, I mean, there's always the possibility, right?
No, you should join Team USA.
Nah, man.
You should go back to
I'm
back
not-
and get those
I'm-
W's, man.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie, South Rallis. It sounds good, but I would rather, in a way, go against you because you're such a good player, man. I want to go against strong people, man. So,
man, that'll just
you being on the opposing team, I feel like, it is great competition, man. I'm not saying we can't ever be on teams, but I like racing against strong teams.
You will, because first of all, Nano, we need him for 2025.
Yeah,
because we got people coming up with super teams, Toxic and Zuzu and Falcon all on the team, and like they're making super teams.
Hey,
so we
man.
might need a superhero.
You know what it
to
is,
hold it
Caleb?
down
You know what it
for,
is? Nano just afraid he might have to race on the bench this time.
Oh,
Losing the trickster role, right?
yeah. Let's see that free for all fighting for that spot.
Hey, let's just say I'm confident in my abilities, man. I'm not worried about losing any spot on our team.
Okay.
But you were saying something, Mr. Sopralis?
No, I was just adding that. Yeah, you're just scared that you don't want to lose this trickster.
Get him.
Don't fall into
I'm not going to play defender.
the semi trap, man. But now I will say, man, you put me on game. So I'm definitely excited to use Trickster in the next.
Wow, he put you on game.
Yeah,
I had said the same sentiments like during week 1 or 2.
the same sentiments on what about having Maxi in the front?
No, like hold him.
no.
Like if you got.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about.
But that's
what
what.
you
No.
talking
But that's
about.
what I was trying to tell you, and you're like, nah.
Did you tell us or did you tell your team that?
No, I told my team and I told Nano. I told Nano, I was like, listen, man, because I don't know, for whatever reason, this tournament has really like had me thinking about a lot of different strategies. And one thing I picked up was when we faced Brazil, I was like, the way they race is so different because they always race in the little packs. And now that South Rallis is coming back to that same idea, it all makes sense why they did so well. Because
Wait, are you talking about just the pack stuff in general?
No, but like I had when I mentioned the pack stuff at first, I only had half of the piece of the puzzle. Now when I'm talking to Soft Rallis, he put the whole thing together for me. So like at first when I first brought it up, I was
Hold on,
only
so how you gonna say that if you didn't even say the whole thing back then? What you
I
want me to do?
I gave you
bruh?
piece of the puzzle, man. It was for you to figure it
Hey,
out.
That-
now he's pulling the Paulie. He's pulling the Paulie. He's trying to act like, hey, I made you.
Yeah, I know, man. Come on, man. That's why
No,
I said
no,
so.
but wait.
Game,
You
bruh.
forgetting what was the one thing I did say? I said if you're a defender, you should hang back a bit and let someone ride with you. Didn't I not say that?
Here's the thing, Sammy. When people think they're better than you, they're not gonna listen. So you just gonna have to prove them niggas wrong.
I mean, anything Sammy has told me, I have never disregarded what he said because
Right.
I thought I was better than him.
I mean, he
Because
did
if
take
that
the
was the
lobby
case-
situation.
That's what I was gonna say. If that was the case, I'd have just like, man, forget that. Forget that shit.
I'm just
man.
saying that because some people are like that. So we just have to clarify.
Hey man, Caleb, I don't know. I don't think you understand how important that lobby tech was that I gave you guys. So.
No, it is. And
Yeah.
we used it. So it was useful enough to where the host changed the rules.
Yeah,
Bruh,
right after the match,
literally, so Thralis is like telling us like, yo, Maxie always wanted the first spot in the lobby because of how important that shit is. So
I
that
would actually
shit
make
is.
a tier list now of the. I could actually make a tier list now. Kind of.
Oh, go ahead, man. Go
So,
ahead, man.
in my opinion, the best player in your team should play Trickster. The best player, always Trickster.
So me?
And actually the third best should play Defender.
The
And the
third
second
best.
best should play Brawler.
I can see why you say
Okay.
the second best should play Brawler, just because they would.
Impactful.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Wait, so
like,
you're saying the fourth best should play?
Beaster.
Play what?
It should-
Speedster?
well,
yeah.
Speedster is like the unthankful role anyways. That's why I put it on the fourth, but
I'm gonna put
Okay.
some respect on Speedster. Just wait. When I have all of my fucking people, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe Nightmare Before Christmas, Speedster, Cruella,
I
Will
mean, sooner
Turner.
or later, speedsters are going to be able
Yeah.
to actually have a
They
great
can be able to
roster
hang.
of characters. It's just
If
going to take
not-
time.
Yeah.
They just got to
But I
give them
mean-
the same treatment they gave Tricksters with their RAM.
So-
As soon as they get a better RAM, I think Speedsters are gonna
So
hang in the
they-
races more.
Well, they got good some top people like Jasmine. She just gets banned all the time.
Yep.
So you just mhm.
I want to just elaborate because why I think that. So someone, I don't know who it was. I seen it in some chat. Someone said, if Maxi is gonna be on Defender, he's wrecking, which I 100% disagree on that. As I said, like the potential of Defender, we talked about it previously.
It's limited, yes.
Yeah, if you're first place, unless you're Genie, just want to add that. Unless you're Genie, what is there to get boost? Like, yeah, you're in front, and then what?
Mhm.
You're waiting until the other one's gonna pass you, and it's gonna be just a random who's gonna be first place between the two defenders. So,
Yeah,
well, I disagree that he putting on Defender would have been such a waste. We realized that pretty early. Putting Maxi on Defender would have been a waste. I actually didn't want to play Defender, but someone had to play Defender.
It was the
So
right decision.
you wanted to play Trickster since that was your main role?
I actually was more like a flex. I could have played any role, but at the end of the tournament, I would definitely consider myself a Trickster main, or especially after the match versus NA. That made me realize, and I actually proved myself that I'm a good player in that match.
Okay. Well, hey, man, we definitely appreciate the. Hey, but you see, stuff like this is why, in my opinion, I think competitive SpeedStorm is still in its infancy stage. So,
I mean, not if too many people are retiring, bro.
I mean,
Hey,
there's
so
still a
it's
lot of
next man up.
competitive.
Next man up.
Yeah,
If
it's
Maxi and
just
Soft
next
Brothers are
man up,
gone,
man.
and they supposed to be the best players. Who's next?
I guess it's toxic
It's
now.
like it's like All Might. It's like All Might. He has the what's it called, the one for all, and he got to pass on his power to the next.
I'm not gonna lie, Caleb. I feel like it's up for grabs, man.
I think it's toxic
Yeah,
now. Oh
No,
no,
it's
man. He
mine.
won
What you
the
talking about?
MVP, so I don't know.
It's mine. First, yeah, he talking about tricksters. Went against Belgium, who was on the trickster, and it was almost like me and 1 week was doing the strategy because I was up there. But just saying. But no, I'm definitely willing to fight for that. If Maxi and Soft Willis are gone, I'm willing to fight for that number 1 spot. So
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a good
Good luck.
trickster.
Well,
Yeah,
I
hey,
know
like I
one
said, I'll do
trickster
it.
you
I
guys got to
showed
go
that-
through.
Hey, the one time I was on Trickster, it was some good stuff. Because what's called Nano was like, oh, I got to work. So I was like, all right, I'll run Trickster this week.
Well,
and
there's one
Yeah,
trickster you guys
But-
have to
but
go
the-
through.
But here's the thing.
got-
But the thing about our team, and I feel like this is not this case for most teams. Our team has like players who are kind of even in skill level. So I feel
No.
like you don't think so?
I think
Holy shit.
certain players are better, and some people can't accept that shit.
No, I mean, okay, so you want to talk about it?
Caleb, who's the best?
Let me see. Are we talking about all 8 members, or are we talking about
just
the
give
big
us
4?
just give us the top 2?
Well, I feel like our team and like skill totality is, obviously we have a hierarchy like for groups, but what I'm saying is if we have our 4 best players, I feel like our 4 best players can move around in terms of roles. That's what I'm saying. So
I
don't
think
you
we
feel
ha-
like
I-
you could? Don't you feel like you could do good on?
Yeah, I feel like I could do good on any role. And
Okay.
I think there are 3 people. See, I don't want to open the can of worms. Let me
I
not
mean,
do
you already
this.
started, so
But I think
You want to save it for the podcast, or you want
I'll
to?
save it. I'll
Yes.
save it. This is Team Europe's energy. We don't need too much controversy.
man, Soft Rowless is
You
over there
say on
eating
this one,
popcorn, man.
But,
Go for it.
Hey, he said, "Go for it, man. Hey, do
Yeah.
your thing, man. Be a sneak peek for the podcast in the future, man."
okay, when we're talking about the best. Okay, me and Nano. No, 1 wing. Where you at, man? Where you at? I want
Getting
you
a
to be here
haircut.
for this, but we got to get you off Defender, my boy. We got to get you off Defender. You're gonna have to diversify the role. Hey, you might be part of the big 4, but to be in the big 3, you got to do all roles. I'll just put it that way. So who's the big 3?
Who's the big 3?
Okay, so basically, you're saying you would just like if, we did some diversifying.
Wait,
So,
Planning for
yes.
the next World Cup.
wait.
That's what he's
That wasn't the
trying to do.
question, though. The question was, who's the big 3?
Oh yeah.
What I said
guess,
is the players that can do any role, and there's 3 people that can do any role and be at the top consistently.
Well, who are
And
those
that's
3?
Me,
it's in your
Nano.
hands, Caleb.
me, Nano, and Cosmic, to be honest. Now, who's better between the big 3? I think me and Nano are better than Cosmic. So who's better between me and Cosmic? I mean, me and Nano.
I
I
don't
think
know,
I got you,
man.
bro. But we'll have to.
You think you
figure
got
that
me?
out. I
Okay,
think I got
okay.
you, bro.
I don't know, man. I be
Hey,
going ham in them sessions.
he did
man.
say he was the co-captain.
You do. Not gonna lie.
He did say he was the
Question,
co-captain.
Who's stronger, Luffy or Zoro? Some people say he's Zoro. I'm just saying.
Come on, man. You know,
No,
Luffy.
let me stop. Let me
By the way,
stop.
about best NA player, USA player. I asked that Nano once. Is anyone aware of Silent? Big shout outs, by the way. To him.
Yes. Silent.
And just saying he's like kind of considered like the American Maxi. It's kind of we always make that joke.
Sorry, Caleb.
I got another person to go for.
Remember when we talked about top 5, Silent was going to be in my top 5. It was going to be Silent, Hoodie, Maxi, Zuzu,
And Toxic.
and there was one more person. Toxic. I don't know. I don't know, bro.
I mean, as good as Toxic is, he was on them strong classes. Let's be honest. But yeah,
Yeah, it's I don't because the thing is, I'm basing the people in my top 5 off of what I see in the tournaments, and this is going back from Nalisi's tournaments. So whenever I'd see Silent playing, he would do really good, and like Hoodie would do really good. Maxi would win like every tournament.
Yeah,
So-
you did tell me that.
And when Zuzu were in these tournaments, Zuzu did good.
Fun fact: Nelisi had the most tournament wins. Fun fact.
okay, that's some good info. to know.
Okay, that's true. So hey, Nalisi might be up there, man.
This is probably top 5. He rounds out the top 5 then.
He probably is.
Well,
He
that's
probably
actually a
is.
pretty good list, Nano. I agree to that. It's actually a pretty good list.
Mhm. So I'm just going based off what I've seen, what I've observed, what I've raced against, who felt more difficult for me to race against. It's a lot of different factors, but I can understand. There's a lot of great races in the game, and people's opinions vary based on what they've experienced.
Fun fact:
Oh.
Silent retired also.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, hey,
But I mean, Silent's been retiring and then like coming back and retiring, and that's
1
been a
week.
thing for his. So,
Okay,
but
this is what
Silent the homie though. Silent's the homie. That's my boy.
I remember what I want to ask South Morales is if there was a solo tournament for a cash prize, would you come back to compete in that?
Nope.
No.
I won't.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun.
Is there a particular reason why?
The game just doesn't flash me anymore. At least at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the grand
Okay,
prize is
okay.
like $200?
I'm not into the money. I'm not that kind of person, actually.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
hold on,
okay,
hold on.
Forget the money.
What if it
Forget
was
the money.
Wait,
what do you think
wait.
about a solo tournament?
What if it
What
was
do you
for
think about a
$2
solo
million?
tournament? Oh shoot.
Okay, you got me there, baby.
Who gonna pay $2 million? Though?
Game Life ain't doing that.
Hell no. They want you to pay $2 million for their characters to level them up.
I don't
That's what they
know.
want.
The biggest whale in this game could pay.
Hell no, man. That's
But
still a lot of
maybe
money,
I'm
bro.
open for hosting and doing also like these kind of stuff because I also they're also looking for co-hosts. I signed in for that, so
Okay.
Hey, that's dope.
Okay.
maybe some knowledge, maybe making some in-game analysis or match analysis. I'm up for that.
Yeah, I think your analysis are on point because I mean
Yep.
you have a very good mind for the game. So, like I said, you put us on game. So it's
Yeah, you definitely put Caleb
know.
and Nano on game. I knew about this stuff,
so you ain't learned nothing from what
like I said, I had part of the piece of the puzzle, and Soft Rallis gave me the last answer I needed.
Nah, man.
He gave me the code.
Bro. So that means you learned something because he gave you a part of the piece of your puzzle.
Even Sammy has an ego, it seems. Even Sammy has an ego.
I'm starting to see that now, Caleb. I'm starting to see that now.
Hey man, I didn't spend all this time in the lab doing research.
But, hey man, Mr. Sotalis, man. It was a joy talking to you, man.
Yeah, it was definitely fun.
To do that more
Yes,
often,
sir.
actually.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. When we start off our podcast, man, you could be a guest. We could be like, yo, Sotalis, you want to come in for this episode, man? So
Yep.
you never
Maybe
know, man.
Analyzing some matches when you're talking about some specific ones, maybe. Yeah, could be.
Definitely.
Yeah,
up for that.
we could do that too.
We're gonna
Yeah,
ask you
we
to
got
do
a
a
lot
tier
of
list
stuff in the
this
works,
time
man.
properly though. For,
Hey,
for Caleb.
Fun fact: I was planning to make a character tier list, but not player tier list.
Oh, we're gonna do player
We're
tier
gonna make
list.
a player tier list.
Yeah, we're gonna make a player tier list. Yeah, so Dallas, a lot of people gonna be mad when they see this. But hey, man, you know it's pretty entertaining, so we looking forward to it.
Oof. Okay, I'm prepared. Holding my seat.
Now, hey, if you start hearing stuff about people getting upset at us, you know, don't be surprised, man. Because one thing we've learned is that a lot of people in this community are sensitive, and you know,
I hope this interview moved me a few spots up.
Oh, most definitely in my books.
For sure, man. For sure, man. You know, I like I said, the way you race, man, you definitely like up there in the upper echelon for me. Like for me, I consider competitive SpeedStorm is where you prove your rank because it's regulated and you know you need skills for it and stuff. So
See,
he's a natural talent. The most impressive thing that you said is the fact that this is your first racing game ever, and you're this good at it. That's crazy. So shout out to you.
Like I'm gonna be humble. I already knew I was gonna be middle of the pack somewhere during this tournament, so I'm happy with that.
hey, man, like I said, everything's a learning experience, bro. So you know, it's I mean, when we start our podcast, man, we not gonna be filtered, Mr. Sopralis. So, you know, if you hopefully you get entertained by some of the episodes, and it'll be lit, bro.
Yeah, I want to see the tier list. I think that's gonna be very interesting.
I'll say right now, biggest ego, the S tier will go with Caleb is number 1.
S plus.
You gotta believe in yourself, everybody. You gotta believe in yourself. I mean, the Flash is the fastest. I'm just saying.
I mean,
He's not wrong.
I'm gonna land pretty low in the ego list, actually.
I'm definitely C tier. I'm definitely
humble,
C tier.
Damn, man.
But I keep my ego in check every now and then. Some people's egos out of control, and just from Team USA
true.
practice. So I'm someone with an ego, but I'm self-aware of myself to where I keep it in check.
Okay, fine. A tier, A tier.
Okay.
Oh. I mean, there's so many people in the SpeedStorm Discord that deserves to be S plus.
Yeah, it is, man.
That's gonna be a big S tier, man. I've never seen so many S tiers for one game.
Yeah, man. I mean, usually when you come into a competitive setting, there's usually a lot of people with egos, but you know,
you have to. It comes with the territory.
Chalk it up with the game.
Yeah.
So I don't expect any less, but you know, I think I can't wait for this podcast, man, because we definitely gonna be ruffling some feathers. But you know, it's not gonna be on purpose though. We're just gonna talk our minds, and I feel like when people talk their minds, you know, sometimes people hear stuff they don't want to hear. So, you know,
I'm so excited about the future developments in strategy when I'm gonna see the train tactic.
Hey man, you might have already seen it.
Tactic.
You might have already seen it, just not in your group. It might have been done in Group B already.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, and that team went undefeated. I'll just say that.
What happened to that team when they hit the knockout round?
They was recording their practice.
Wait, I have no idea who we're talking about.
you wanna let Sopralis know, Mr. Sammy?
Yeah, Team Brazil.
But did them filming their practice help Team Canada?
We weren't doing that though. We weren't going into see, I could understand going into another team's practice if they're doing it, but me personally, like we were saying earlier, like some stuff I just wouldn't do because I just couldn't see myself doing that. So like if they were recording their practices, I wasn't looking for it. I just wanted to beat them off of the knowledge I had, seeing them in races. I don't want to just snoop into someone's practice and do it that way.
Is it snooping?
I mean, it's not necessarily snooping, but like, I mean, it's to their own fault. That's why they took the L. But I mean, me personally, I'm not gonna do it. Like, I want
I want to
to.
give shout outs a big tip for everyone.
Yeah.
Becoming
For
better.
sure, man. Let's hear it.
You have to consider scrimming against other people.
Yep.
That's the best tip I can give you. Scrim.
Hey, that's true. I think you said something about even before the playoffs, y'all scrimmaged against
Benelux.
Benelux.
Yep.
So,
and I know USA was scrimmaging
I even
against
asked
NA.
Nanmoto who was that. Someone I asked, and the client said we don't want to reveal our tactics, which I.
Nah, you asked me.
Oh, it was you. It was you.
So you asked me, and I think Cedric asked me, and I was like, I don't know about all that.
Hey! I also asked you as well.
Man,
I asked you as well, and I told you,
man.
I told you, the reason why we should have scrimmaged at least was because we're in different groups. You're like, nah, we can't do it. We might have to face you guys anyway.
We should have just to show y'all how much y'all need to work on. We should have.
Hey. I don't know about that. I would have came with my A game. You already know. I would have had something for Caleb.
Hey, that's what people on Team USA said. So
I will admit that when we practice versus NA, we learned a lot. But the thing is we didn't have to race them anymore. So it's like what's the point of scrimmaging against them if we're gonna race them? Like eventually, like it just. I don't know. About that.
Why not?
Because you could be putting them on game. It's a double-edged sword to me.
It is a double-edged sword. But like I said, we was in two different groups. Could have definitely scrimmed us.
We could have still raced you guys. That's what I'm saying.
Nah, we could have, but then remember you ducked the fade.
No, you lost to Belgium by 2 points.
Okay, you also lost to Benelux. You were supposed to win, and we were supposed to win.
Hey, shit happens, man.
Yeah, it does.
I wasn't in that race. That's what everybody says.
All right, Caleb. I put that on you. I was in the chat saying, "Where's Caleb? What's going on? What's going on with Caleb?"
Hold on. Against Benelux.
Yeah.
I actually had a good race on the Speedster.
Yeah, there was one race you came 5th. I was like, what's going on with Caleb?
5th ain't bad. I mean,
hold on. On Speedster? Well,
on
let me go to YouTube. I'll go to YouTube right now and bring up that race. Hold on. Don't do
I was wondering why the classes in Team USA are so not expected. I mean, personally, I would have expected Caleb is Speedster because just for the fact that using a Jasmine avatar and the intro, the trailer.
Yeah.
And for example,
also we're not banning Jasmine anymore.
Yeah, but and there was like a player called Cosmic Drifter, and I was not playing Trickster. Didn't make any sense for me.
I mean,
he was on Trickster the first race of the tournament.
He was, but to be fair, his main is Gaston though.
And Nano wasn't even playing Trickster sometimes. He was playing Speedster. I was like, what is going on?
So would not make the name Cosmic Basher more appropriated?
He doesn't like bashing.
He don't like bashing. Yo, so fast. You all know a funny story? Fun fact, there was a time, like this is kind of near the end of the World Cup, when we were practicing and he got bashed by somebody on our team and he got upset and he was saying how he felt like that was dirty and stuff, and I said, well, that's a mechanic in the game, so that's not playing dirty. And then he quit practice with us. So
damn,
you raised, man.
There's a lot of
hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
No, nothing. Saying that's
Yeah,
That's
he quit because he was side bashed, and then the person that side bashed him quit because of side bashing. So it's kind of crazy how that works. They can dish it out, but they can't take it when it comes to
What
side
the
bashing.
heck? I did not know
I'm
that.
not gonna lie. So Dallas, Team USA has some weird practice sessions, man. Like we have great practice sessions, but sometimes they kind of get a little out of hand.
See, when those things were happening, you guys should have invited me to practice.
Sammy, bro.
You know I wanted to practice, man.
Here's the thing, and also Sammy, I brought up the video. I beat Hoodie while I was on Speedster, and he was Buzz Lightyear. I was Mowgli. So
Hey, I did give you props that week, though. I did give you props that week.
See, I don't know what happened to Kayla. I'm over here beating Hoodie. Y'all talking about? I don't know what happened to that. Dude.
But
I'm really looking forward for all your performance in the division.
Hey, thanks, man. Hey, root for us, man. Root for us. I know you're gonna be also rooting for your teammates too. So
They're pretty splitted, actually. Yeah, of course, but I will.
Yeah, your boy Frrari's on Sammy's team, so you can cheer for Sammy.
Yo, I saw Monstro. He looked like he left your team, bro.
Yeah. That's another side note. We'll get to that.
Okay. He actually told me he was considering it, but I wasn't sure if he was gonna do it or not.
Yeah.
But Mr. Sothralis, man, I guess I don't know if Caleb or Sammy, if you guys have any last words for him.
I appreciate him doing this interview just because, like I told him in a previous message earlier in the week, that we were looking forward to doing an interview with him as we were doing interviews for all the teams at least that were in the final four, either in the third place match or the final match. And like I told him earlier, it's like these interviews are mainly for your teams or yourselves just to express like your thoughts and feelings throughout the World Cup, what it meant to race and what it meant to race against people you were looking forward to race against, and probably see how you stack up against these other teams. So I really appreciate him being able to take the time and make it out and do this interview with us, because it's not easy, obviously. Some players are going to be in different regions in the world and have different time zones. So the fact that he could take the time off, I don't know if he was busy today. It sounded like he was. So the fact that he could take the time to spare to have this conversation with us means a lot to me.
Holiday right now, so I'm set.
I guess my last thing is to say, South Rallis won't say it, but I will. The best player for Team Europe is South Rallis. I think he proved it in the time trials. He proved it in ranked. He proved it in the tournament. I know some people might think another person is, but I'm gonna give all my respect.
Huge, but yeah, maybe you could argue also because like I didn't left my team in the most crucial moment. I mean, I think that's maybe an argument for that, because that meant a lot for me not leaving them behind. Even
that was pretty good, man. That was pretty big.
If people, they're the world champions, so yeah. But I just want to give my shout out.
I'm gonna be honest with you, still didn't want to mention the name, but that player is that good. Just saying it.
Okay.
Yes, Caleb, put some respect on his name, man. Come on, man.
See me in a solo tournament. I want to.
That's really thankful. I'm really thankful saying that's an honor.
Yeah, man. I like Sothralis, man. Team Europe was stacked with talent, man. You guys have some marvelous players, man. If you guys never come back to SpeedStorm, just know, you guys have. Yeah, you guys.
No, you said he was coming back.
I have a point.
Nano, you said he was coming back. You said he was going to put you on the bench, remember?
I mean, I didn't.
But
say
he's saying if. He's saying if.
I'm just
he's saying if he never
that
comes back. But.
There's a spot in your team. I mean, maybe with some money.
Remember, $2 million on the line.
I don't know, man. They're gonna have to see me about my spot. That's for anybody on Speed. SpeedStorm, bro.
Don't worry, I'll be your coach.
What?
I'll be your coach.
Nah, man, you staying in Canada, bro. Nah, man, but hey, so Thalos, man, you know, I think you I can't express myself enough, man. You guys were amazing to race against. And even though, you know, you guys put in work on Team USA in the finals, you know, that's gonna make us a better team. And I appreciate you coming for this interview, man. You know, it's always nice talking with you, man. So, you know, hopefully we could talk more in the future, bro.
And maybe we should one last time give a shout out to the host. Just saying. I think it's a good idea.
For sure, man. For sure. Definitely shout out to the hosts. And it's funny you say that because we're actually going to be doing our interview with them tomorrow.
Yep.
So, you know, that's going to be very interesting. And, you know, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. And this will be, you know, our first interview with being able to see inside the host's minds with all of the stuff that happened. I mean, not just like the NA and not just with the shortcut stuff, but just everything in general, the ups and downs of hosting a tournament and stuff and their experience and what they would do better and stuff. So, you know, we're definitely going to be looking forward to that, man. It's going to be fire.
One last thing. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Interrupt.
Nah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, our win was also dedicated to our sadly passed away team member, and actually, we was growing pretty close with him. Actually, pretty close, considering him as a good friend. Just want to give a shout out again to Duff. Dedicated this win for him.
Of course, man.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to say. I remember Duff, and he's all like, "Hey, man, I know Team Europe is gonna win the whole tournament, and you guys proved them right." So. Yeah, definitely did y'all thing. And I know y'all made him proud. So yeah,
I think so too.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. So I guess
funny
Mr.
that
Sammy.
his avatar he's still using was a drawing from my girlfriend for him as a gift.
Yeah, I actually love that picture. That's I have that saved. I have that picture saved in my phone. So, you know.
Yeah. He was so happy about that when he received it. He didn't expect it. It was pretty emotional, to say the least.
Yeah, man. It is, man. But, you know, Duff will always live on in all of us, man. You know, he's a great person. I kind of, I've said this before. I kind of feel for people who are in the community who have never interacted with Duff because he was such a wonderful person and player to meet, and he's always uplifting. He's always like making sure like he lets you know you're really good at the game and very talented and stuff like that. Like he's really, you know, he says all the positive things, man. So, you know,
I agree.
You know, I'm glad you guys were able to, you know, complete his wishes.
I carried his name until the final game. Attack.
For sure, man. Team Europe, man, for the win.
He was racing, not me. He was racing.
Yeah, man.
But anyway,
it was great to see.
I want to thank you for I want to thank Caleb, Nano, and Sammy for this interview. It was great fun, actually. I enjoyed every moment.
We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it, man. I'm not gonna lie. Stuff out of these interviews that we've doing, they've been pretty entertaining.
They've been
and
fun.
I can't wait until like people get a chance to see all of the interviews, man. I don't exactly know when they'll be able to come out since they're actually pretty long. They're actually longer than the recap matches.
Yeah, this one's already 3.5 hours.
We'll have to talk about it, Sam. Maybe we can get a little clips channel going. But
Yeah.
You know.
But when we drop them, we'll definitely let you know. So especially when we drop Team Europe's interview, we'll
I'm gonna
like
hear my own
personally send it
voice,
to you, man.
please.
Hey man, you did good, man. You did good to me. Nothing
Yeah.
to be
Nobody likes
ashamed
hearing
of,
their own
brother.
voice, but Nano, because he got that R&B.
But I
Hey
have to
man.
bid farewell soon. I left my son pretty long waiting. He's sick, so
Of course, man. Of course, man. You know, we appreciate you for coming through with your team, and congratulations to Team Europe for
thank
getting
you.
the win, man. You know,
Yep.
you're always a homie to us,
It was
man.
great fun. Everything, the World Cup, this interview, everything.
For sure,
Yeah.
man. For sure, man.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
well,
peace out.
catch you
If
later.
that's
All right.
okay
No
for you.
problem.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Have a good
All
day.
right.
Okay,
Peace.
thanks for the interview again, and have a good evening in your case. Yeah, evening.
Yeah.
Yep, it'll be evening for us. But all right, man. You have a good one, Sopralis.
Okay, have a good evening, and
Mm-hmm.
see you next time.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you at the next one.